T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Trap Talk, Reptile Network, coolest reptile network in the world, episode 566. Trap Talk with MJ. Tonight we have Andrew and Jacob, two good friends of mine who became two peens in a pod over the last year. And I gotta say, quite the duo in the reptile podcasting scene. And I'm so excited to bring these two to the show tonight because I haven't really talked to these guys about so many things that we would used to talk about back in the day. You know, me, Andrew, and Jacob definitely are like our upbringings were in together. You know what I mean? And obviously it's been years. Shit, fucking time flies. It's crazy. But yeah, there's just so many things that's happened. And I do value these guys is their opinion. You know, Jacob and I go way back. You know, I call him the professor when it comes down to like the knowledge behind morphs because he just knew that much. You know, and he still does to this day. Really respect the man's game in the ball python department. But yeah, like just a lot of history with these two guys. And like I said, going into 2025, we're in quite the transitioning as far as like what's been happening in the ball python game. You guys, you know, markets ups and downs. I think personally, ball python game has slowly been making its way back up. All right, but things happening within the ball python hobby, you know, just a lot. It's gonna be quite the episode, man. So you guys are in for a treat. All right, shout out to all the people in the chats tonight. If you think that tonight's episode's worth of any super chats, like you got a question or a certain topic, don't be shy. Drop a super chat. All right, I'll throw it on the screen. And of course, if you're looking for exclusive content, if you want to get more out of what you see at each episode, get more like 401 details on Trap Talk and meet some awesome, amazing, dedicated keepers, then please consider joining the Trap Talk Patreon family. You can do that by clicking the very first link in the description below. As soon as you click that link and join, you get connected to a Discord. Over 200 amazing keepers in the Discord, and the Instagram group chat is popping. I got trappers all over the world. All right, and especially if you got good stuff to bring to the hobby, like dude, please come join my family. That's what it's all about. All right, and also if you try to get some, got some stuff you need to sell, like we're all looking for the good stuff. You know what I mean? So shout out to my Patreon members. You guys are my heart. I love you guys. Seriously. Do want to say shout out to anyone out there supporting US ARC. Very important. If you don't know what US ARC is, don't be ashamed. Just click the third link in the description below. Go to usarc.org. See what US ARC is here for. Here to fight for animal rights. So shout out to you if you support US ARC. And shout out to anyone out there who's supporting US ARC Florida. All right, let's get these numbers up. It's very important. I'm also excited about tonight's sponsor, one of them being Rami over at the Reptile Super Show. #1 show in the country. Cali does it best. On the West Coast, I'm telling you, man, we got the weather. We got just really good vibes at the Reptile Super Show. Awesome availability as far as the diversity of species and reptile species. It's awesome. Rami does not play around. All right. He throws the best show. All right. You can also catch people like Jacob and Andrew at a Reptile Super Show. You can catch myself at a Reptile Super Show. I know for sure I'll be there this January. All right. So the next Reptile Super Show is January 11th and 12th. And you're going to catch me. I'll have my whole trap booth there. I got some homies flying in who's going to be vending as well. I'm going to ask Andrew and Jacob if they're going to be vending. We'll get to the whole vending topic with them as well. But yeah, shout out to Rami, Reptile Super Show. Go to their Instagram. Go give them a follow, and then go to reptilesupershow.com where you can get your tickets and see updates on details and all that good stuff. Thank you, Rami. Thank you the entire Reptile Super Show family. Also, thank you to tonight's sponsor. What is that saying? Go away. Tonight's sponsor being where the hell did it go? There it is. Clutch, man. Thank you. #1 organization app in the ball python game. If you're just coming into this and you want to separate yourself from the lazies and you want to look crispy and cutting edge, this is it. Clutch. Start correct, start fresh. This is the place to go. And even if you've been in the game, man, and you feel like you're a little unorganized, consider Clutch. I'm telling you, the way it's color coded and user friendly, it's awesome. So thank you out there, anyone out there who supports Clutch, thank you, Sebastian, Justin, Summer, the entire Clutch team. Go to their Instagram and please subscribe to their YouTube. Also, shout out to Rare Genetic Inc. All right, if you got them ball python sheds, turn them in to the best doing it in this department. Rare Genetic Inc. You got two really dedicated animal lovers who are just devoted to getting this cutting edge type of technology for your guys' collection. You know, why wait 2 years to figure out what it is? Posset days are over because of people like Rare Genetic Inc. All right, they're also offering 25% off on Morph Market. If you go to Morph Market and order Rare Genetic Inc. sheds, you can get 25% off right now. It is major. What an awesome thing Rare Genetic Inc.'s doing. So shout out to Ben, shout out to Sean. We will be having one more episode with Rare Genetic Inc. and a couple other big-time breeders before the end of the year. So be ready for that. So for now, go to Rare Genetic Inc. on Instagram and also go to Rare Genetic Inc. on YouTube and subscribe to their YouTube. I know they drop something every Wednesday. So yeah. Also, tonight's episode is brought to you by Focus Cube Habitats, #1 PVC enclosures in the game. Everything you see behind me that's not lit up, sorry, is what it is. 3x2x2 PVC design enclosures by Focus Cube Habitats. Over 30 designs that you could pick your enclosures at focuscubehabitats.com. So head over there right now. Head over to their YouTube channel as well. All right. There's lots of tutorials on these enclosures. They give you a really in-depth look on their YouTube channel. So definitely don't sleep on that. And also make sure you go give them a follow on Instagram. All right. So shout out to Steven, shout out to Ashley. Seriously, two of the hardest working people in the reptile game doing some big things. So appreciate them. And last but not least, shout out to the Chipper, #1 substrate in the game. Go to cocodoo.com. All right. At the end of your order in the checkout section, type in TrapFam24 in the promo code and save 24% off the entire order for the rest of the year. And I got a new promo code coming to you guys soon. All right, with some new promos. So it's gonna be great. Thank you so much, Chipper. All right. Again, that's cocodoo.com. You can find all the links to my sponsors in the description below. And again, I want to say shout out to anyone who's here tonight, man. I want to say, is there anyone in the building who's ready for tonight other than myself? All right. The homie Nick Reptile Pueblo in the building. What's good? All right. It's a Trap Talk Patreon member in the building. The homie Mercury Exotics. What's going on, Mike? Thanks for tapping in. PJ's Creations in the building. Another Patreon member. What's good? Lucid Arboreals, my homie from Sweden. I told you got trappers all over the world. That's my Sweden trapper right there. Shit. What's up, Bosa Reptiles? Thanks for tapping in there. I appreciate you so much. Eric Morse Factory. Big Mike. 1776 Exotics. You guys are all here. And I don't want to waste any more time. Like I said, I've been looking to be bringing these guys on for a while. Andrew, for sure. I've been on his bumper for over a year now. Just because, like I said, I've been wanting to reconnect and see what's going on with their own collection, what's happening with the future and ball pythons with these two, and also their podcast. We're going to really tap into their podcast. What's in store with that as well. So you guys are definitely in for a treat, and I'm excited to bring these two on because it's been a while. So let's do the damn thing, man. Hope you guys are ready. Do what you got to do to get your mind right, and do what you got to do to stay hydrated for this one, episode 566, without Matthew Summers because he went to Jamaica and has hives all over him. And that's why he couldn't make it tonight, by the way. So no Matthew Summers, but we got Jacob and we got Andrew. 2 peens in a podcast. Trap Talk collaboration right now. Let's go. Cheers.
Good.
You ready for do more in the future? Trap Talk podcasts?
Yes.
Man.
Only Trap Talk. Exclusive.
Yes. Exclusive.
Oh.
So stop calling us.
Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the crop, God love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with everybody. We do it, everybody. We do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
They can already hear you, dude.
And we're live for sure. They can already hear you guys. Episode 566. Andrew, Jacob, no Matt. Hey, what do you guys think about Matthew not showing up?
Woo! What's up? Yeah, let's talk about the hives, dude.
The hives, bro. He went to Jamaica and he came back with hives all over him. And I get it. I don't want to see him like that either. So
I do.
I told him to send pics, dude. He still hasn't sent them.
Hey, what a fucking reunion tonight, though. I am so excited to have you guys back on the show. It's been a long time, gentlemen. Yes, it's been a long time. You guys have had made quite the moves in the hobby throughout the last fucking few years. But you know, can you guys admit a lot's happened? Like, you know, as far as the state of the ball python game right now, and like people getting out, you know, and fucking dipping so quickly. Like, can we get to that? Like, you guys, you and I, all of us came in right before the COVID era, right? Like, wasn't it?
Right before
2017, right? Was that all you guys as well, or what year was it for you guys?
Well, a little later than that, but yeah, it was pre-COVID. I mean, I was 2000, probably the beginning of 2019 for me. I don't know about you.
Yeah, mine was towards the end of 2019.
So okay, but we all are. That's the same era for all three of us, I would say, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I would say.
Let's kind of get into where you guys currently think of where everything's at right now. Like, did you guys expect it to be to this point? Like, watching people dip out and watching certain projects go from being fucking top shelf to like, holy shit, what just happened? You know what I mean?
I think one of the biggest things for me was I noticed that the attrition rate in this industry is insane. And I think a lot of that has to do with, speaking of COVID, was a lot of that COVID money that was being pushed out. And I think that at the time, because things were selling like hotcakes and because people were making so much money, people thought that they could pretty much just budget purchase their collection. And then, on paper, I'm going to make, an average of 6 eggs and make this amount of money. They're counting their money before it was even coming. And then I think the market got flooded with so many common combinations or basic combinations that, it's supply and demand. Nobody's going to want them after a while. And so now you have, whereas you had during COVID, I remember like on Morph Market, it was like 12,000, maybe an average of 12,000 ball pythons available on Morph Market, sometimes dip below 10. And now, shortly after all that, you're looking at like 40,000, 50,000. I saw 52,000 one time. And I have to believe that a lot of that is that type of byproduct that people either don't want, or that it's just that the games kind of pass those combos by.
Hey, if you filter out pastel, it goes down to like 17,000.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, right. I mean, it's unfortunate because here's the thing, guys. Like, I don't have an argument because, say what you want. Like, pastel's always going to be here to stay, but it was misused and abused for so like long that it got to the point where, yeah, you're right. 30,000 of those snakes are half pastel in it, and but it's something that like I feel, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Like, that's not something that like have to like band out a collection, right? Like, would you guys agree that pastel does have its place still?
100%.
Sure. Yeah, I mean it's
okay, I know who's who right now. I can definitely know who's who right now.
I will say that place is not my collection, but it definitely has places. I've seen them. I've seen the places.
Well, no, we actually just talked about this the other night, and I even brought it up. I said because it's overutilized, it loses its
wantness
contribution to these projects. Like you put it with any VPI or DG or anything, it's going to improve them oftentimes. And so I think that it definitely has its place, but I think it needs to be whittled way down as far as what you're putting it into and how you're utilizing it, because like you said, it's overutilized, it's saturated with it, and it doesn't work well with clown. Although with some DG clown combos, it looks cool, and then you can put it into like Monarch and it looks cool in Monarch, or Puzzle, it looks decent in Puzzle. So it's like, I think it has its place, but I think it needs to be, people need to pick and choose where they use it.
I don't know. I get a boner when I see a puzzle without pastel. It seems like every puzzle combo has pastel in it.
Yeah.
And there's history to that. There's a reason for that, but it's like
100%.
I want to see it without the pastel. I think y'all crazy.
I think you're not from the South.
Well,
yeah, but okay. Now, DG is a big, thing for you, right, Jacob? I mean, I saw you really after DG before any of it got to the point where it's at today. And you even produced that amazing DG combo that went to Tony. What year was that? Like 3 years ago? Was it already 3 years ago? Damn, it was a while.
Close. Probably like a little over 2, I think.
It was whenever Vegas was.
It was, I think it was like that was like late in the year. So it's probably over 2 years. I don't know if it's been, maybe. Shit.
But you avoided pastel even back then. Like because from what I remember, you didn't want pastel happening in the visual DG Clown stuff that you were making.
I did avoid it. I didn't have any. I don't have any of it in my DG Clown project at all. I avoided a lot more now than I used to. That's for sure. Like I've kind of got I can't even think of what I have. I don't really have anything left with pastel.
Well, speak on that is like that's one of the biggest things we try and push on when we do our podcast, when we talk, is like, it's super important to pivot, and it's super important to try and keep up with where the market's going and where the trends are going, because, you know, I think people look at things too immediate, like, oh, I could put these two double heads together and make the double visual, and it's like, cool, but you have 0 codoms, now you got to wait a year or 3, depending on what you hit, whether it's a male or female, to start implementing that or incorporating that into other animals with multiple codoms. So I think that oftentimes people kind of get stuck in this rut of comfort as far as like planning projects goes, and they don't think outside the box enough, and they're not willing to scrap projects. Like, we're totally I'm about to, I probably shouldn't say, because it sounds like a knock on it, it's not, but I'm about to scrap my whole puzzle project, because over time you just evolve and you like things less, you like things more, and then you decide, hey, I want to put all my focus into this project, whatever it is. And puzzle has its place in there, but as far as it being a mainstay of my collection, it's not. So I'm fine with pivoting and dumping a project or moving into another project, which is kind of why I think we're both on the same page with that, and that's why we've decided to kind of join forces with our breeding plans now.
I sold probably a third of my collection last year, like preparing for, you know, this coming year, because I didn't want to overbreed. I didn't want to produce anything that wasn't something potentially that I wanted to hold back. If I was making it, that was the new rule, and I ran with it. So,
and I think people look at it as like a knock on a project, when it's like, let's say Clown Pied, just throwing that out there. It definitely is a cool project, has its place, and it's not a knock, but it just doesn't fit into what I want to do. So the cool thing about this industry is that there's so many genes and combinations of genes that haven't even been hit, that, you know, the floor is open for you to move around and kind of bounce from project to project. So, you know, we may be getting out of one, doesn't mean it's a dead project though.
Let's get back to puzzle, okay? Because we had Kyle Hoffman, quite the character. You know who Kyle Hoffman is? Have any of you guys met this guy?
Yeah, I know who he is. Yeah.
So he said "fuck puzzle" the other night on my show. It was fucking,
whoa, what? Yeah. He used the F word?
Yeah, you can cuss all you guys want. Yeah, we're good here.
No, I know.
And you know, I knew he had some type of feeling, and I definitely enabled it for sure, because I knew he had some type of feeling about puzzle, but I didn't know why. Like, I was like, what is it? You know, and he let it loose. But I want to know, for you, Andrew, you breaking down the puzzle project and displacing it out of your collection, what's the reason behind that?
So a lot of my projects, so a big part of it is the way it incorporates into pie or clown predominantly, but also like pied, another major recessive that I'm not necessarily working, but it also, it strikes me as it has its lane and it has its potential in a lot of things, but I think that it does have a ceiling, kind of like not as severe as like an albino, to where it's like you can only use so much. But like with puzzle, it's like you're going to get a pattern manipulation, which is very cool. You're going to get some color enhancement, but when you put it with clown, it looks like a clown. When you put it with pie, it looks like a pie. So it's kind of disheartening for me, but also the puzzle stuff that I have isn't very cutting edge. So I have a couple things that are cool. I just had a clutch lay that is a puzzle clutch, ironically, but from that clutch, I'm hoping to pull something that is, you know, double recessive with puzzle in it. Hopefully a female that I can keep, and 2-3 years down the road when I'm ready to start reincorporating puzzle into my projects, because I'm focused very much on the Sunset Clown right now. So
no way.
Yeah, it's like my base main thing. So anything that I can incorporate into that's going to improve upon it, whether it's, you know, various codoms or recessives like Monarch and DG, Hypo, things like that. That's my goal. Like, we're both really, you know, I think we've hatched out enough byproduct that we couldn't sell or we couldn't move, that we're just like, you know what, let's just focus on the higher end stuff, because the reality is, and I've said this plenty of times, like, from my experience, the high end stuff, the really high rare stuff, that's the stuff that sells before it lists. And it goes to your overhead's lower, your yield is a lot better. Yeah, your return on investment's obviously a lot better. So it's less work, especially when you have a bunch of kids and fucking 3 jobs and all kinds of shit going on. So yeah, so like, I like the project, I like puzzle. I have a hard time letting go of it because I am attached to it. But if I were to step away from it and evaluate my collection, the puzzle can move, influx of cash, and then I can also redistribute that to improve upon my already growing projects.
It's more about what you would rather do as versus not wanting to do the puzzle. It's more
For
about,
sure.
Yeah.
You guys don't feel like it's getting played out though?
I don't think it's been worked enough to be played out.
Yeah.
I think that I think there's a lot of puzzle combos that are kind of played out.
That's what I meant by that. I think like seeing the same stuff in puzzle, like even pastel. I'm not gonna Jacob's. I mean, he kind of nailed it. Like almost every puzzle combo I do see has pastel in it. Not all of them, but a lot of them.
I'll be honest about what I think about puzzle. I don't think I see enough when, like, what's important to me is when you throw these other like codoms or even other recessives into it, am I going to get like something unique or something extraordinary? And like when I see like a certain combo puzzle and then I see another combo puzzle with different genes, I don't see enough in between. Like to me, it's not and I'll say this too, and people are gonna hate me, but Monsoon, kind of the same vibe. Like, we
feel the same way about Monsoon.
I think Monsoon is a really cool gene, but it's albino.
It's limited.
Yeah, I don't see it. It's almost has like the opposite problem of puzzle. It's like it over dominates everything.
Okay, but other than
puzzle
clown,
seems to get dominated out.
Other than clown and maybe hypo DG, isn't there some stuff that's pretty? I mean, a lot of stuff's limited in the game. Like
For sure there is a lot of.
But I think there's just levels to the like for a morph to be like, like wanted. There's levels to it as far as like when it gets played out. Obviously, like we talk about like the ones at the very bottom, like spider and albino, like ones that just people want no interest in, right? But slowly right above those are certain ones that like lesser butter, like there's and it sucks because I have a butter Wookiee that I'll never let go of. But it's fucking looks sick as shit, but like if you were to like put that on to sell it, like unfortunately you can't get as much as you would get if it didn't have butter in it,
Right.
Well, I think part of that problem is for obvious reasons. You get a Bell complex gene. Let's just take butter. I agree with you. Some of the prettiest animals I've ever hatched had like butter and Monsoon in them. I mean, I'm sorry, Mojave. Yeah. So it's like, while those aren't super desirable genes to add into projects, they do objectively make the animal look better oftentimes. But I think there's a stigma surrounding genes like that prevents people from breaking through that and be like, hey, this is a valuable animal. And so it goes to show that it's not necessarily just about the visual aspect of it, but the potential of that animal when it comes to breeding in your projects. Right. And I think that's the trick, is to try and find animals that will work 3 years down the road, 5 years down the road, or at least contribute to projects 5 years down the road in a positive way.
That's
and when you have genes like a Bell complex gene, it's tough when you have a clutch, let's say 6 eggs, and 3 of them come out with it. It's almost like, fuck, that's 3 animals I wish didn't have it, and they'd be much more valuable had they not had it. So it's like, why not just eliminate them completely?
Yeah.
But
I was just gonna say that's kind of what makes this game tough, because like your interests or things could pivot so heavily within the next 3 to 5 years, where like you think you want something, and then all of a sudden you wake up one day and then you notice something happening in the market or whatever. Like, okay, like the fork in the road with puzzle and clown, that's just not going to go nowhere. You got it, but it's up to you to make that change if you're feeling that way, right? Wouldn't you guys say like you don't just not do anything about it if it's something you don't have a desire to want to produce in the next few years, then you should get it out of your collection, you guys would say, right?
Yeah,
pretty much. I mean, I'm only going to end up with 7 clutches this year, which is like more than half as many as I had. So like,
what was the wait, Jacob? What was your biggest year, Jacob? You had over 21 year, didn't you?
Yeah, I had like, I probably got, last year was probably like 16, I think, if I can remember correctly. The year before that was more. Yeah, and this year was way down. Like I said, I got rid of so many projects that I just, in all honesty, you don't have the room to do, 10 projects. It's impossible.
Well, yeah,
especially when it's such a, like when all these projects require all this, like, breeding visuals to hats and doing different things, and it's
you need a facility.
Yeah,
legit.
Yeah. You do, and I think that like I did the same thing with my projects. That last 3 years I averaged about, I think, 12 to 15 clutches, somewhere around there. And this year I'll be lucky to hit 7 or 8. And I'm fine with that. That was kind of intentional because I was only pairing up certain animals. But now the animals that I do have, with the exception of maybe one, maybe two of the clutches, I'm stoked about all of it, and it's all going to be useful. Yeah, either it's going to sell or it's going to be useful to build on.
Yep, I'm on the same boat with, and I feel like that's kind of the smart thing a lot of breeders are doing right now, are breeding for themselves, right? Like, because it's cliche, but it's a good saying. Like, you want to be your best customer. Like, you should be the one, like, excited to fucking pick whatever it is that you need out of that clutch. But if all your clutches are things that you just don't need, and it's not there to like make you go further, then I hope you have a good plan on selling it. And because right now, sales is not something that along the board everyone's good at, first and foremost. But even if you were good at sales or had good sales, it's not consistent, not right now. It's happening. Don't get me wrong. Thank God for auctions and other ways, but it's not like, unless you're fucking goddamn plugging vlogs weekly and you got the Patreon cracking and you're fucking tapped in with all that other social media stuff, which is important, then like, I don't know. Like, so, I mean, what do you guys have to think about the sales of ball pythons right now? Like, first and foremost, let's get to that.
Well,
and auctions. Let's talk about that.
Man, like we kind of touched on it earlier, like if you've got something that people want, if you're making, world first or things and projects that people are trying to make or need the ingredients to make or whatnot, those animals are going to sell, and they're going to sell for top dollar. You just, that's just the nature of the scarcity of the game, So
yeah.
I think that there's a lot of things that were not good, not healthy for the market, and it all kind of compounded into like what we've seen and stuff. But I mean, a lot of it was, like you were talking earlier, like if you're making a DG clown today, you're lucky if you get 2K for that thing,
Yeah.
And it's an animal that is like, there's so many of them that's going to, even if we're in a good economy, that's going to happen. That part of it is always going to be there. You got to be, 2 steps ahead. You got to start making, multi-codom animals that are DG clown and maybe het for something else or something. That you got to keep evolving and moving forward, or you're just going to be you're going to be left behind, honestly.
And I think the important thing is not just to produce animals that are going to benefit somebody's clutch out there, but to benefit the whole the project as a whole. So so let's say the DG clown project, you've got to make stuff. Somebody could obviously use the DG clown, but I guarantee you people can use a chocolate OD acid fucking mandarin DG clown.
Or what about a super gravel DG clown, like
or super asphalt or something like that.
That's gonna sell for a lot of money and quickly.
Yeah.
That's gonna change everything, like back in the old school DG days.
And it kind of plays into the whole thing. Like I look at it kind of like the real estate market in the sense that and the economy in the sense that it's cyclical. And I think that you're gonna have plateaus of people, of projects, and I think that it's important to recognize that and also move when the iron's hot. And it's going to go up. Like I'm already starting to see some crazy combos come out, a lot of high-end stuff that I think is going to start ticking back upwards. I think it's opening. I think the fact that people have been working on these crazy projects, and now that they're starting to come to fruition, I think that people are starting to get a lot more ideas, get more energized about the industry. And they're like, oh shit, now I got to start pivoting here. I got to start getting acid. I got to start getting monarch, whatever it is. And that's the fun part for me, is kind of just trying to stay ahead of the pack, or at least towards the front.
Also, hypo is back.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Left.
Heavily.
No, it's
not going back. It's not going anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Hypo's fucking amazing. I love it.
Stay tuned, man.
Only because Hypo gave DG life. You understand that, right? Because DG, if it wasn't for Hypo, DG kind of would have had its limits for sure, 110%.
Oh yeah. A lot of my collection is geared to those two together. I mean,
but you know what? But also, and I love Hypo. Like it's known, I love Hypo, and I could have sworn I thought Hypo would be good in everything, and it's not. Not everything, but a lot. I would say like 80% of it. But like,
I agree.
Yeah, but like Hypo, bro. First, like we talk about Exantic projects, right? Like the True Ghost, like bro, we haven't even seen the shit that True Ghost that's about to like smack us in the face. And because dude, I love, here's the one thing, like I love the shit that Justin and Miguel and Levance and Ozzy, like the bright shit and insane shit. But when you have that black and white shit that just doesn't look real, like like a JD fucking or my boy Emilio, his Exantic stuff, it's kind of like that's the kind of freak shit that I like, to be honest. Like,
Well, yeah, and to your point, hypo elevates the shit out of that project.
100%.
I mean, obviously because it's True Ghost, but like right now, next year I have 1.2 I hatched out that I've been holding on to that are they're all pastel and Enchi, unfortunately, because they came from a super Enchi and the pastel hit on everything, but they're all triple het DG hypo VPI. So even if I get, I'm not devastated if I get a pastel. A super pastel is a tough one. Like anything super pastel is tough.
That's rough. You might as well just keep that one.
Let's go and pass on that. Yeah. But
give it to a kid.
Even the triple visual, like you can incorporate that, and that's the idea. So for example, without getting too much into the weeds, like for projects. So I've got, like I said, the sunset clown's important to me. I've got a leopard spot nose sunset het clown male that I've been putting to a ton of stuff that I hatched out. Now, stuff that I'm getting from that male is going to go to another clutch. I'm doing I did that male to a super hurricane. So those babies came out and they're rad. And now I'm also doing a Cypress Hurricane clown to a sunset. And so those genes are all going to mix, adding, and so those babies will hopefully be able to breed with this other set I got going. So it's kind of like being tactical about how you pair up, because it's like, I got this cool clutch, but I didn't breed anything else to go with that clutch, or I didn't bring anything else where that clutch can improve on. Yeah. So that's kind of like the idea with those triple hets, is that give me a visual, and then I've got stuff that I've been pairing up and hatching out that is going to work well with that, and it's going to dovetail when the time's right.
And I will say Jacob for sure. Shout out to my man Jacob. Remember our collab back in the day, Jacob, not too long ago, like 3 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
So Jacob hit me up because he knew like how crazy I was about highways, and like I wanted to make cool asphalt and stuff, and I didn't have any asphalt stuff, but I had gravel stuff. And so Jacob hit me up, and it was an Enchi asphalt, 100% het clown. Remember, we thought it had blackhead in it, but it didn't.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, right. Yep.
Yeah, and then I had a highway hypo that we put it to, or het hypo. I can't remember, but we hit those fucking insane super. We hit pavements, and we hit a Mardi Gras, fucking pavement, right?
Yep.
But then the whole thing was like, dude, these are het clown and pos het clown and pos het hypo, which ended up getting tested, proven that they are 100%, and I freaked out. I never forgot. But then that's when I was like, bro, like, why aren't you breeding for hets more often? Like, that's the game plan. Like, and mind you, back then, like, because I wanted to look sick, obviously I wanted some credibility in the ball python game. So you think, what's the coolest thing I can make visually that year? But if you do that, you're cutting yourself short, because that's all you got for that year. You know what I mean? There's really nothing banging that you're going to be setting yourself up for the next 2 to 3 years. And I feel like if you just don't care about what you're making this year, and you worry about what you're going to make in 3 years, and you fucking make those hets, dude, like, I'm telling you, man, those hets, the hets is the recipe. I really feel like, especially
that's 100% our mentality too.
On the female side too, most importantly, like, having double het females, or triple het females, once you have a male, dude, it's game over. Like, it's done. Like, and especially one that's loaded with codoms, and then you can just stack and just get these individual codoms and these double het females, and you're going to save a lot of money going that way. Even if you were starting out, man, go get the double het females and buy the double visual male.
Especially right now, guys. People are fucking here. Take it. They're acting very desperate right now. So this is
guilty. Dude, that's so fucking, it's so true though. And that's what I was telling people. It's like, dude, don't look where the market is now in the sense of what the potential is, because it's not going to be accurate. It's not going to be accurate. Look at it as, hey, this market is viable, and what better time to invest in proper shit than right now, because stuff is so cheap. And I think that if people kept that mentality, like you just said, which is what we try and drive home often, is like, hey, you can make some really cool shit right now. However, you can stave that off for a year or 2 or 3 and really make some cutting edge shit at that time.
Okay, but guys, let's be sick whatever it is that you think you're making sick that year, look at other people, what they're making. You're not making sick shit. Like, it's like, it's sick to you, which is good, but you got to think bigger is what we're saying. Like, we like, this year is too late, like way too late. Like, you have to have these pairings locked in your fucking head 3-4 years down the road, and then by doing that, you enjoy what you're raising. Like it makes it exciting. You guys love seeing size on a holdback. You know what I mean? Like you know, like I said, the girls I just talked about that I made with Jacob in the collaboration, they're ready to breed this year. You know what I'm saying? So I have a chance to because I have a male for that. I have a chance to make super or pavement clown hypos. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or really cool highway hypo clowns. And I'm just saying though, I ain't making no basic hypo clown shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's what you have to do. And you guys could admit how fucking quick time flies. Like, can you believe how quick years are just going by right now?
Well, that's exactly what I thought when you said that's ready to breed. It's like that comes up on you way quicker than you think it's going to.
Oh yeah.
And I'm a very impatient person. So
Me
anybody
too.
that's out there that's
Dude,
impatient,
I'm telling
bro,
you,
I get it. But it's like the juice ain't worth the squeeze. I mean, you're gonna make a cool animal that you're probably gonna want to hold back, and if you do decide to sell it, you're gonna get less than market value for it right now, especially. So why not build for the future?
The beginning of this year, I made 2 animals that when I got in, we were like goal animals.
Right.
By the time I made them at the beginning of this year, they were like, they weren't even holdbacks. Like they, you know what I mean? They were like, you know.
But being okay with that, I think, is important.
Yeah, I mean, I already, and there's already like that's a good problem, right? Like these aren't holdbacks. That's a good problem. That means that
they're not that important. Yeah, I mean, you got bigger plans. I mean, I finally made visual DG clowns this year, and I didn't give a fuck what the market was. I was so excited to like make DG clowns because I don't have a lot of visual DG clowns, so I kept them. I'm like, the fuck, I'm keeping these motherfuckers.
They're sick.
Yeah, and they're so beautiful, man. Like I'm sorry. I know sometimes I'm so bipolar with ball pythons. Like I'll get on this because you know they take up so much space. Like, man, I have like the chondros and everything else growing, and they look at this fucking 20-foot wall of racks, and I'm like, God damn, like. But then also I look what that rack's done for me. Like if you want me to be real, if it wasn't for ball pythons, I would probably have a real job right now. Like I'd probably fucking who knows what I'd be doing. But I don't know.
Yeah.
You can't take it away from them because you guys obviously have sick, awesome, fucking high quality ball pythons, and you know what that feeling is like. I mean, say what you want, but when you have sick shit, it's cool to look at, and you know what you got too. You know,
we do that all the time, and we have the rats over here. We've been doing the rats together for about 2 years. Cool. You know, it's initially we started out to do like as a business, but we couldn't get the capital to grow and need the space for it. So right now we're just breeding for ourselves, but every week, you know, several times a week, Jacob's over here and, you know, we're cleaning rats, we're checking out snakes, and we're constantly looking at the same fucking snakes. Like, I can't tell you how many times we'll go, hey, let me see what that animal looks like, or this animal looks like. And it's like, some of them just never get old. And then when they grow, they change color, they change back. So it is a very enjoyable to watch these cool animals grow up. But, you know, that's kind of where we're not in an impasse right now, but we just decided, you know, I alluded to it earlier, and I've talked about it before, about us joining forces essentially and doing joint projects, because while our collections are fairly different as far as the paths we're on, they work together very well. Yeah. And I think that they'll work together. Some of the stuff I think will work together pretty cool, like the Monarch stuff. So he's got more Monarch stuff. He's got way more DG Clown stuff, a very limited amount of both. I mean, now I have no Monarch, but we want to get that Monarch in with Sunset. We want to get it with Mandarin. We're going to do all these things. So, you know, I think it's, you know,
you have a lot of Mandarin. See, he has everything. We like have the opposite collection, but it works out well because
it does work out like that.
We're just throwing shit together now that we never would have been able to do unless we went out and spent fucking $50K or something, you know?
Mandarin's a big thing we need to talk about tonight. Don't let me forget about that. We're gonna shelve that for right now. What was the gene we just talked about before? Monarch. Okay. We're talking about Monarch, and you know, Monarch's been kind of quiet right now, and I want to know how you feel about Monarch in the future. Monarch, I used to be so aggressively team Monarch, and I still am the dark side, but man, I've seen some crazy Ultramel shit being produced lately, and I know whatever happens Ultramel, Monarch will be following suit. It's just a matter of time. But I haven't even been talking about Monarch much on this show. And I will say the reason why I even started liking Monarch was because of you, Jacob. So yes. Where do you feel like Monarch's at right now? And where do you stand with Monarch Ultramel? Let's get to it, and then we'll get to Andrew's take on that as well.
I'll just put it this way. I mean, it has been quiet, and it's funny you say that because all of my Monarch clowns girls, they all took the year off this year.
Huh.
You know,
so it's not a viable gene.
No.
Invest now.
Shut up and drink your beer. Listen, don't listen to this guy. This guy's got
It's a
that fake-
desert.
this guy's got that fake fucking Mandarin shit all over his collection, dude.
FR.
No, I will say this. I have seen some things that people aren't ready to release to the world, but Monarch's about to smack the shit out of Ultramel, dude.
Yeah.
Damn.
And it's that different. Like, even to me, that somebody who's hatched Monarchs and had Monarchs, when I look at it, I'm just like, holy fuck, dude. Like, I didn't even think that.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna indulge any more info on that.
Hold on, but to that point, the reason why we both are Team Monarch is because, like, I think Ultramel's beautiful. I think it makes some amazing stuff. It definitely has its place. It's a cool project. However, I think that as far as diversity, as far as breeding goes with a project, I think Monarch lends itself to a different color pattern, both dark and light, whereas Ultramel tends to shine in the bright genes. But adding, like, I saw Monarch Dark Knight, pretty fucking sick, and it does exactly what I thought it would do. And I think that those Monarch hues that are going to come through with some of these combinations are going to be really game changing.
Oh yeah.
And the animals he's talking about, I've seen some of them. I don't know if I've seen all of them, but I've seen some to where I'm like convinced that this is definitely a path I want to go down.
I think I saw a combo where I looked at it and I literally could see how DG would be so badass in it. And that's,
oh my God, that's
and
what I'm
DG
saying.
is not like a great gene with the T positive stuff. We haven't seen anything really great with it. But how dark this thing was and like the contrast going through it, dude, I'm telling you, man, Monarch's about to smack, dude.
Well, give us
really
something.
hard.
Give us something
Tell me
that
what to do, bro.
give us
He's
something
getting
that
antsy over here, dude. How many beers you had to drink, dude?
I need more, dude.
Jesus.
Hey, Jacob, give us a little bit of something that you're looking forward to pair this next year or so, like that has something to do with Monarch. Like, can you give us a little bit?
Well, outside of the Milo realm, me and him got a little thing going. We're gonna try to do some. We're gonna try to do I guess it would be a Batman Sunset Monarch.
Whoa.
Yeah. So we're starting that. We should have
Sunset Monarch Clown.
Sunset
Yeah.
Monarch Clown. So this
Yeah,
would be
well,
a triple.
Batman.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I said Batman.
Sorry,
See,
dude.
dude, you fucking drunk
I
already.
don't hear what
God
the fuck
damn it,
you say, dude.
I'm gonna be cleaning rats by my fucking self. Hey, all right. Anyways, yeah. So we got that going on, and that probably is the coolest thing. So we should have visual clowns that are double het next year.
Damn.
But we're both, one cool thing that I really like is that we're both working Hurricane. And Hurricane is one of my favorite genes. I think it's so fucking impressive.
Give us more, Andrew. What is it about Hurricane?
Dude, so probably my favorite visual snake is it's a lesser super Hurricane. And
What?
You are drunk, bro.
I beg your fucking pardon, dude. It's a fucking beautiful animal. The contrast, the way this animal looks, tell me I'm lying. I know you're fucking being a funny guy.
It's
right
funny
now.
you say
Tell me I'm
visual on a
I'm the
complete
I'm the
dominance.
funny guy, but he just said lesser. Listen to this guy.
So
It would have been a lot more if you would have just said less.
this is dead air time. This is dead air
Lesser
time.
on
But,
lesser.
you are dead air.
So I've got some Hurricane animals. I've got that female's laid 3 clutches for me. So I've got stuff that I'm working with that. But the Cypress Hurricane clown I invested in last year from Brad Boa, that thing's so sick.
Dude, that's a badass combo, dude.
It's so cool.
Cypress Hurricane.
Yeah.
Cypress Hurricane clown, dude.
Oh shit! It's a visual clown.
It's a visual Cypress Hurricane clown male. So I hadn't bought any, and he's breeding now, but I haven't bought any animals probably for almost 2 years as far as investment type animals. And last year I bought that. I bought an Orange Dream Acid Clown male, but it was very like.
I have to ask you, what that thing cost you?
Which one?
The Cypress Hurricane clown.
4,500.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
I would
That
think,
was
I would-
like
I would think
that was
more.
like peak. That was like what?
That was a year
And a half ago?
Okay,
Yeah.
so I mean, prices were still pretty respectable. It was
Yeah, they were pretty high then.
before they got raped. Okay, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty good price. Shout out to Brad Boa. That's a pretty good price on that snake. And then now it's
Well,
already
he-
going to work. It's going to work for you now, right?
It's going to work. And he hooked me up a little bit on that because I had bought a female Sunset like 3 years ago from him. So when prices were not cheap, and like I said, she's shot out a couple clutches. She's getting paired right now to that Cypress Hurricane clown, but it's all, one of the cool things too is like we're doing a lot of these pairings for hets and for the future, but we just did a pairing. I have a red stripe clown that I paired him to, the Cypress Hurricane clown. So all clowns, and the only codoms we're working with is Cypress, red stripe, and Hurricane. And though that's a type of pairing where I'm going to get a visually appealing animal, but it's also going to be very, very useful for my collection because of the codoms. So I think that I mean the contrast, the color pattern, the wildness of it, like the Super Hurricane I have has blushing, it's got contrast, it's got blown out alien heads, it's got crazy colors, and I just think that there's a lot to do with it.
That Cypress Hurricane clown male was so nice. I was actually gonna steal it, and then if you caught me, I was gonna say it was a prank.
Nobody does that, dude.
Wow, yeah, who the fuck does that?
I don't know. I heard.
What a sick joke.
Most definitely.
What a cruel joke.
Hey, you want to know what's a sick joke? But it's kind of like a joke on themselves, and maybe this kind of goes to people just getting a little ahead of themselves. Like putting stuff available on Morph Market and like completely just fucking tanking on the ID. Like I'm seeing a lot of mis IDs out there. I don't know if you guys are, and I'm talking in the higher end stuff. Like I'm talking like, double visual, triple visuals being mis ID'd. What do you think that's going to do to people? Like if they don't figure that out?
Well, I'll let you ask, but I'm very passionate about that because projects like Sunset is one of those love it or hate it type projects. There's a lot of controversy around it. People say it turns brown, whatever. You post animals, whoa. When you post animals out there and you put them out there and you say that there's something, whether it's Mandarin Sunset, I see it a lot. You say, oh, this is a pastel Mandarin clown. It's like, dude, that's a pastel clown, or a pastel Sunset clown. That's a pastel clown. Stop making people believe that this gene's trash because I know otherwise.
Yeah.
And there's quality to it's like Orange Dream. You can get a sick Orange Dream, or you can get one that doesn't even look Orange Dream. You might be able to pick up some of the patterns and stuff, but I mean, this guy is really good at IDing shit. I'll give him that. And even with some of these combos, it's really hard to see the genetics sometimes. Yeah. So there is a level of quality with these genetics, and I think that when people mis-ID them, not only do they look goofy, they look silly, but they're also unjustifiably devaluing a project that does have potential or could have potential.
I'm also good at putting like it's possible or probable if I don't know too. Like I'm not gonna.
Yeah, it's important.
Like if I'm not for sure on something, I'll state.
I do it all the time with him because I'm not great at IDing genes, and I'm just like, hey, what do you think this is? This is what I think it is, and so having different perspective by like putting an animal, hey, I think it might be this, I think it might be that. You're gonna invite a lot of insight into what people might think it is, and then sometimes people might say something, you're like, oh shit, that's right, that is that. And I'd rather know what it is instead of falsely putting on an animal that's not.
Yeah, I think you're better off, like, if you feel like it's not, then just don't put it in there, like, or put it in quotation or parentheses or whatever it is that you got to do. But also, too, like, man, you don't want to cut yourself short, right? Like, I'm seeing some really, like, nice animals that have, like, shit, like, I don't want to burn anyone out, but, like, good incomplete dominants that are more than likely in that snake and it's not being ID'd, And I'm thinking, like, fuck, you're probably losing out on, like, at least $1,500 at least.
Yeah. Oh, I go through Morph Market looking for that shit, man.
But here's the thing, like if this is coming from a brand that's well respected because of the people who back it up, I feel like fuck, dude, come on, like, if you're gonna look the part, make sure you're at least IDing shit right. You know?
I know exactly what you're talking about. Without naming names, we've talked about that before. It's pretty obvious sometimes.
It is, and it's obvious enough where it's it's like I don't really need to paint the name on the wall, but I'm just saying, like, I think it goes down to just kind of like understanding what you're really working with, and this is why I say I love hets because you really see the influence before the visual part, right? And what markings are, and you understand what the fuck you're really looking at as you grow, right? That's what I'm saying. This is why it's almost as much as it seems like it's the quick game and the ball python game. It's really not. Like okay, cool. You hit something as fast as you can. But like Jacob said, right? Jacob, you finally hit what you really want to hit. But now what? Now it's not as important as it once was. You know what I'm saying?
You have a pretty obsolete animal.
It happens quickly, man.
Yeah.
So I want to transfer the Miss ID stuff into Mandarin because I heard a lot about Mandarin. The reason why Mandarins always look good this entire time is because, correct me if I'm wrong, it was either a super Mandarin that they were looking at, or no, it had hypo in it the entire time. And then we found out that this Mandarin that we've been, drooling over has hypo in it. Can we kind of get to the Mandarin talk of things, Andrew?
Yeah, and that's a project that I'm very passionate about, but it's also a project that I'm very aware that not enough information's out there for me to have a strong point of view one way or another when it comes to certain IDing aspects. Like, I think people need to be okay with figuring an animal out or figuring a gene out. And I think that people jumping too quick, trying to be the smart guy, or trying to say, oh no, this is that, or this is that, it totally hurts the project because it doesn't invite different perspectives into it. And I think that's what you really need in order to nail down exactly what a trait does. And like a lot of these traits where it's like, it does this little tiny thing by the eye. It's like, dude, I'm not spending money. I don't give a shit about that. I want an overall visually appealing animal that can grow. The Mandarin thing, I know TJ obviously is like, has all the good Mandarin shit. Dude's got stuff that we don't even know about. When you're selling fucking super Mandarin double head sunset clowns or whatever the hell he sells, I'm just like, dude, you can sell that. I would do vile things for that animal.
TJ's the man, bro. Like that's yeah. I love this guy's quality of Mandarin. But yeah, keep going, Andrew.
It's amazing. Yeah, and I think that to that topic, there was a big debate. Like I got ripped. I lost $4,500 buying Mandarin from fucking Reptile Ranch. And when I was a little more ignorant to it, thinking, oh, maybe that's just the way it looks because this guy's been around for a while and I feel like he knows what he's talking about.
And think about how much that fucks shit up because how many people bought the same thing but don't have bred and don't have the wherewithal to even know that they don't even have Mandarin.
Dude,
and they're throwing those out and they're selling those babies, dude. It's just
I bought it for like, I think it was $4,500 at the time. It was a female, grew it up, proved not to be Mandarin. I sold it for like $100 at Pomona one time. What my problem with that was I like so much shit that I got, a little bit of everything and put all my eggs in one basket when it came to these projects. And so I didn't have any other females after that. That was all I had. And so then, okay, now I got to start putting this legit Mandarin male into these other projects and start building it that way. So I lost 2 years, which is way more important to me than losing $4,000. And so, so you had that, but at the same time, you had the whole debate about, oh, that's a super Mandarin. Oh no, it's got hypo and it's super Mandarin, or oh, it's a Mandarin hypo. I always defaulted to TJ with that. Obviously, maybe he wasn't aware of it. Maybe some things were sold that he wasn't aware of. But I think that that's okay as long as you make it right and as long as you're honest about it. And I think that it's impossible for people to expect somebody to just be an oracle about some gene because they have the most of it or because they worked with it the most, when in reality, there could be a lot of nuances to this gene that we don't really know about yet. And so there's a difference between ignorantly identifying stuff to where it's like almost intentional, just like, fucking push it out there, to I really think that's what this is based on my experience, based on all the work and money I put into it. I think that's what this is. But if I'm wrong, I'm okay with that too. And I think that's TJ's stance, at least when I talked to him, it was. But I've talked to other people, bigger breeders, that have spent a lot of money on fake Mandarin shit. And
that has to make them feel some type of way. I'm just saying, like,
for sure,
when shit like this happens to a project, it could potentially fall to the wayside because people are like, this is way too much we don't know going on for me to be fucking around and dropping mad loot into like a project where you can't even tell me if this has hypo in it or not. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, talk about the DG clown market, dude. That whole debacle, the whole genetic testing debacle.
Oh yeah,
that whole thing, dude. Freaking,
that was a joke.
That set DG way back, dude. And I know a lot of people lost money in that, selling animals and having incorrect IDs and all that. All the aftermath of that whole situation. So like, yeah, that shit happens, man. It can, even if it ends up not even being a thing, like in this case, it still has an effect. But scared a lot of people.
We all agree, like, in a sense, we do a lot of quote unquote gambling with what we're doing. Like a lot of things could not work out. Like that's why,
this whole industry is very much like a gamble. It's like gambling.
For sure. But
it's like, eggs is like gambling.
Yeah, but except you're not stuck in a fucking building with smoke cigarettes every, like, you know what I mean? Like it's
some fucking
healthier gambling
with some ice cold fucking Chinese dealer, some fucking some fucking Ming
water-
Dynasty devil
Some
that
watered
just
down,
rips you off.
some watered down
Sounds
Jack
really
and Coke.
cool, dude.
Hits 9 times to get 21. I'm not bitter.
No, but like, you know,
Yeah,
we talk about like how like shit, I'd rather lose money than 2 years of time, right? Because we talk about a breeder male that you're just like, holy shit, if I could get this male to get his act together, like we're gonna hit the fucking jackpot. But then again, that male has to want to breed, or something needs to go to where that male's gonna get the job done. And we are up against males that just don't want females sometimes for whatever.
It's literally that coin toss, man. Either he goes or he doesn't, and it can either make or break your whole freaking season, man.
But even with stuff like we're talking now with like, you know, certain projects, thinking you have something that it's not. God damn, man. Like one of the things I can't stand, guys, and I understand it's a part of what we do, but the whole 4 names for one morph, you know what I mean? And I get it, it's your line, but it's not the line that people are familiar with, and nobody gives a shit about it. So why name it that? Like, why keep it confusing with all the names?
Why not just pick the coolest fucking name and go
Thank
with
you.
it?
That's
Yeah.
right. And I want to talk to Darian about this, but I wish we could just pick the most popular name and just erase everything else on Morph Market.
Yeah. Phantom's cooler than Mystic. Acid's cooler than fucking Trick. Trick?
So cooler. Dude, what a stupid name trick.
Hurricane. No, Hurricane's cooler than Trick. Acid's cooler than Confusion or Static.
Static's fun.
Like, or Blitz. Hurricane's cooler than Trick. Blitz is decent, but Hurricane's
chocolate or Wookie? Which one would you pick?
chocolate.
Yeah, me too.
I like Wookie.
Wookie's
That's
sick.
because you're fucking hairy, dude.
Shut up, dude.
Do you guys think Wookie
Fat
chocolate are
Han
the same?
Solo.
Huh?
Do you guys think Wookie and chocolate are the same?
No.
I don't.
Me neither. Thank you. Fuck. Finally,
I've
damn.
seen enough of both, dude. Like it's definitely different.
dude. Some people out there, I tell you, they're just like, bro, you're tripping. It's the same. I'm like, do you even have both in your collection to even make this statement?
Are those the
You know
same
what I mean?
people that said Mahogany and Stranger are the same?
Probably.
I mean, I don't know. But then again, I'm just saying, like, a lot of people who have a strong opinion on something, like, they don't actually work it. And I'm like, bro, unless you're fucking working it and you're seeing it in your, now, I don't care what's being posted on JKR's fucking vlogs or whatever, bro. Like, it's sometimes you see it yourself to know that they're at least something different, you know?
Well,
but,
even with polymorphism, you're gonna inevitably get animals that do look very similar, even though they might be very different genes or totally different genes. And so, and that depends on what you're combining it with. That depends on the quality of it, whatever it is. And so I don't think the sample sizes are big enough to really make the claims like people make, like with the Mahogany Stranger or the Wookiee Chocolate or things like that. I think it's really going to boil down to genetic testing. I don't want to shout out a certain person because I know we're RGI right now, but
you're good. We're
Big Charlie.
Big Charlie.
Charlie's good peeps. I like Charlie.
Yeah, but I think that even RGI and Charlie, I think the fact that they are doing that, I think it's such a net positive to the industry. And I was kind of, me and Will Moros were on the same page as far as when this whole thing came out.
Yeah,
I personally thought, I don't want to speak for him, but I had voiced to him that I thought that it was going to be bad for the industry on as far as an investment, from an investment perspective, from having to actually build your collection up. But honestly, I retracted on that, and I think it's great. And I think that what they're doing is super important. And I think it's really going to restructure and change the game. What do you want to fucking say right now?
So you were wrong?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
I'm not a child. I'm
One more time.
Dude, he admitted like a man.
He's like a broad. He wants to fucking.
No, I just never heard that
before.
before,
Like my wife.
dude.
Yeah, why you gotta throw salt in the wound, bro?
Speaking of which, nice tattoo, bro.
Nice fucking haircut, dude.
Thanks.
Would you comb that with your fucking palm?
Hey, at least I didn't fucking do it myself.
Dude, it looks good, dude.
Savage.
It looks like he just got done with PE class. He's on his way to biology now.
He looks like he looks like a PE coach right
Dude,
now.
how'd you know?
Jacob looks like he still showers in high school.
With his fucking boxers on.
Dude, I'm going after this, dude. Get the fucking
Dude, don't
rat
shower with your
dust off,
boxers on,
dude.
dude. Take your pants off.
That was a weird request.
No,
guy.
so okay, but overall, you guys think the shed testing is great then?
I do.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
How much are you guys using it yourself?
A lot.
Quite a bit.
Clutch after clutch. I lately I've had to use it because I've had a couple of things that were pause hat and then some other stuff that had like so much stuff going on that I just wanted to ID a lot of the different things going on.
Right.
I've literally I've been used. Shout out to Charlie.
I think it's great for investors. Like if you're just getting in, I would
100%.
much rather spend. Hey, I'm not going to spend $1,000 on this animal. I'd rather wait till I can afford the $2,000 for the animal I know it is.
Yeah.
It's like why risk the 50% if you don't have to?
Unless it's a super, super, super low price, then I'm willing to
Right.
take that gamble.
Yeah,
But yeah,
fuck
I'm not
it.
going to play that. Like, because I'm not going to put up, $1,500 for an animal that might be worth $150.
Well, that's the thing is I think it's good for all levels of the industry, whether you're a newcomer or you're Justin. I think that it's a massive time saver, which I've always said is the most valuable thing in this industry is time in this hobby. And can't buy it. So,
Or get it back.
or get it back.
Yeah.
That is true. So I like it.
Yeah, it's been a good tool. I'm just waiting for some certain genes that would really
No.
a monarch test would be nice because I have so many holdbacks and I don't know if they're at monarch or not. So
For me, I want in a perfect world, I want to be able to just get like a fucking. I send a snake in and it tests it for every goddamn morph. And
yeah, that's
Yes.
probably where we'll end up eventually, but
Yeah.
it's probably going to be years down the road. But yeah, and just think about how many surprises are going to pop up when
That's
they
what
start
I'm
getting deeper
saying.
in this.
Bro, I didn't. Okay, you want to talk about hypo and a surprise? I didn't know hypo a few years ago was so unwanted that they weren't even telling people there were pos hets in the snakes. Did you guys know about that?
Yeah, there was a lot of that going on
Crazy.
early too with like a lot of wholesale stuff. Is like they could be like triple hets, and people will just wholesale them as normals, and they end up into someone's collection. Boom.
Reptile shops do that all the time.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, fuck yeah. And you got to think a lot of people who started this, like the Barkers and like the Bells and shit like that, like the lines that they had and they dispersed throughout collections throughout the year that had stuff in it that they had no idea. I mean, that's all catching up. Like me, dude, I ended up. So I would say, 2 years ago, I bought a group of pieds for my buddy Joey, who got these from the Bells, and all these pieds ended up being 100% het hypo.
Yeah, that's rad.
I could, and only because I bred one of the offsprings back to the mom, and I found out that way.
Yeah.
I bought an animal, a female from when I was just getting in, just because she looked so cool. It was a leopard spark something, and nothing crazy, no hets, no nothing, but it was like $100. And I was like, oh, it looks so sick. I'm just gonna buy it right when I got in, and I ended up breeding it. I sold the female after she laid. I cut the eggs, and I had like half the clutch was pieds, and it wasn't listed as pos head or anything. So I can't imagine how many times that's happening, or even in our own collections, what we got going on. Who knows?
That's what I really want too from genetic testing is I want to be able to just test because a lot of the codoms, like we do like a full panel, you see the codoms, like you already know that thing doesn't have Mojave or it doesn't have these different genes, right? But
Yeah,
it'd be cool to just take your collection and all your breeder females and males and run them through like a het test and see if there's any hidden hets in your collection. Because I mean, if you could find that out and if you had something, that would be awesome to be able to utilize that and incorporate it into your projects.
all these cheat codes would only make this game get like pursue quicker too, in a sense.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna see things a lot faster because people are gonna make different decisions when they know what they have, right? Like it changes
sure.
everything. Like when you really know what's in that snake.
Yeah, for
Mhm.
sure.
But I will tell you one thing about Pied, guys. Pied's like Pied is like the way I think of Pied is somebody who has a stripper club problem and then he falls in love with the stripper at a strip club. and then it's like, dude, I get it. It looks gorgeous. Like that's pretty, but it's gonna fucking really hurt you in the end.
It's gonna break your heart.
Yeah, and what I mean by that, pieds will always sell. Gorgeous pied will always sell. Not as much as you would think it would sell, but it's always going to sell. But god damn, is it really hard to ID things in pieds sometimes?
Oh, yeah.
Like especially like the, not even the ODYB stuff, but like people are making hurricane visual like pieds and shit now, and it's like, I don't see it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It sucks.
Yeah.
And what about sunset clown pieds? What
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah,
Holy
and then, like-
shit, what a
And then
disappointment.
if it has like leopard or something in it, and then it's just pretty much a
All white.
white snake with a head stamp,
How do you sell that
you
snake?
can't even tell anything.
But let's just say that snake is legit 100% this or that.
Yeah.
How do you sell that thing, bro? People don't give a fuck. It's crazy.
Yeah.
They'll look at a high white pie and be like, "No, fuck, I'll give you $200." Like, it's
Right.
like,
I'm
dude,
not gonna lie.
Go ahead.
Pied's in that ceiling category for me also.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
And pied, I
I'm
feel
trying
like
to get out of my collection, to be honest.
pied is kind of being left in the dust.
Well,
'cause-
no, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to get it out of my collection, but I don't care enough to keep it in my collection. So if it goes, kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm not breeding anything specifically for a pied. I have it, but I'm not using it.
I was kind of on that same tip until I realized all my pies have hypo in it, and I was like, "Well,
Oh yeah, well
That-
that's what I'm saying. But now you're using them for the hypo aspect. Now you
Oh,
can
big
throw that into the hypo clown shit. And,
yeah, GG and all that other stuff."
yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, it's either for you or if it's not. And I just think at least one thing about Pied, it's always going to be that morph that grabs people from the outside in.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
That's
A really good pet animal.
High white Pieds do great at a fucking table at a show, right? And that's going to get that little kid Timmy or whoever the fuck that to hold that snake, and then it leads to whatever story, and what it goes. So Pied will always have its place here for sure. It could just get tricky sometimes with that Pied stuff,
Oh yeah.
Now let's talk about something that you guys. Okay, now I know. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna get to Sunset. Let's get to Sunset. I'm over it. I want to get down to it.
I don't know anything about that brown.
Dude, let me
snake,
get a fucking mango card, dude.
Dude, no.
This is my beer wench. He fucking needs it.
Damn,
Sorry,
Andrew went from C4. Andrew went from a C4 to a couple beers to now a Diet Coke. That's wild.
He also went
This
from
is all I
like
got.
240 to fucking 280, dude.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Fuck you, dude. I got nothing for that.
Dude, okay, Sunset, not an easy gene to work. Let's be honest. I know the result, the end result for whatever that is for whoever Sunset Project people are. I know it's gonna be great, but can we talk, Andrew? It's not an easy feat. Like that's gonna be quite the time-consuming project, you think, right?
Yes and no. I think that I've easily made the majority of my money on sales on a handful of Sunset animals, Sunset Head Clown, Sunset combos.
Cool.
I think that quality matters very much in Sunset.
Okay.
I think that the browner sunsets, there's definitely sunsets that look like a turd. I'm not denying that. I know that there's very shitty quality sunsets, at least in my opinion, shitty quality. I don't want that. What the fuck did you get, dude? No more mango cards. But for example, and I only say this because kind of what you're touching on earlier is about learning from breeding, is that I bought, like I said before, that Sunset female from Brad Boa. When I got it, it was insanely bright. I thought it had yellow belly. He did too, but we weren't sure. It doesn't. Learn that, but it's just a very high quality Sunset. Even as an adult, Jacob's seen it. It's nice, and it's also thrown very nice animals. I've produced some super cool animals from it. The double, before I produced that male I'm using now, I got a double head from Miguel that was proven. Also threw some very cool animals. I have seen a lot of sunsets that aren't very cool. And I think that the key to Sunset is unlocking not only color enhancing, but more importantly, the contrasting element of it. So you've got to be able to, so dark genes, I'm pretty convinced dark genes aren't great for Sunset. And I also don't think that means you've got to go all light genes. I think that high contrast genes, I think Phantom's going to be cool. I think Hurricane's rad. I think that one of the things I like about it too is not just a color enhancer. It does have a very GHI-ish type of pattern. So I think that it's not necessarily a pattern influencer as much as a color one, but I do think it adds elements of uniqueness to it. And I think when combined with the right stuff, I don't even know if we've seen the right stuff yet. But combined with the right stuff, I think that it's going to get a lot more traction. Like that Stranger Sunset Clown that Justin had, super sick.
So I do see you have a Sunset going to a banana, and you talk about another gene that just when the fuck do you ever really hear about bananas nowadays? You know what I mean? And it's crazy because bananas also is like reminds me as a pie. Like it's one of those fucking pioneer genetics that will just make someone who's not used to this game go like, what the fuck? But also I think I think banana needs its comeback for sure. I always love banana stuff. But I would say that I have not seen, except Miguel. Miguel put some banana shit out not too long ago, and I was like, oh, fuck, that's nuts. But I would say that maybe banana Sunset shit has a good future.
That's a head clown, right? That Sunset Head Clown?
Yeah. So that's a leopard spot in a Sunset Head Clown. But my goal with that is to make Scarecrow Head Sunsets.
Yes.
Okay. If I don't get that, I'm selling everything else probably. Or at least some very cool double heads. But yeah, so that's a cool clutch, but I think that's a puzzle piece clutch, like everything is, but it's not like, dude, fireworks are gonna go off when I cut this fucking thing. It's not one of those for me. It's definitely one of those like, hey, let me incorporate this a little bit and see if I can add banana down the line and see what I can do with it. But I agree with you. It's underutilized, but it's also lost its pizzazz. People aren't as interested.
And Jacob, I could kind of feel the vibe. You're not, I don't know if you hate Sunset, but not really your cup of tea.
I mean, for a brown snake, it's pretty cool.
He's a line sack of shit.
No, Hey, his going back, his sunset though, the one that he was talking about, it's the female, right? The big one. Oh, do you need a bib?
I just dropped Diet Coke on me.
Look like you're
what'd you say?
lactating. Hey, that sunset is a female, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that
Oh,
hit,
the one- not
dude,
that one, though.
no, the other one, the female. Yeah, that thing looks really good for being a full blown egg laying female.
Which one? Is it on your
I
page?
don't-
Andrew?
He has a female. It might be. Is it on your page?
Because the one I just shows a male going to a female.
Yeah, lately. But I've got the
No,
Cypress
that
Hurricane
picture that
clown
you
hooked
showed
up
was
to
a
the-
male, but he has a female.
There's a Cypress
And it's
Hurricane clown
insane.
paired up to the sunset in one of my probably the last dozen posts.
I hear. Let's pull it back up. Just I want to see this. I want to see fucking.
It might not be a great.
Oh, here we go. He's already
I-
I'm
backtracking,
just
dude.
saying, dude.
I see
I know what-
this.
No, that's a
and
red
this-
stripe clown.
That's not a red. Yeah, that's not a sunset. This is right here. Oh, here we go. That's her.
That looks browner than it looks in person. Dude, don't lie, Jacob, you son of a bitch.
That looked like this morning out of my toilet.
That looks like a dude.
That looks like an LA
That's not
LA
fair.
morning, dude.
That's absolutely not fair.
Wait, sunset's at night, bro.
I don't know if you guys went to KG and D's reptile show last year, but it looked like the fucking sidewalk when you walk out of the show.
We'll get the sunset.
No, dude. It'll look worse. It'll
It's
look
better
even
right
worse,
now.
dude.
But that's a proven female. That girl's already she laid eggs for you already.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, she does look good. It does. There's a
looks
lot
better
of
than that.
contrast. Yeah, you can see a little bit of oranges coming through, and
And it doesn't it looks markedly better than that in person. I
Yeah.
think she was going to shed that time.
I thought it was
Shut up,
wild.
dude.
I thought it was wild that Miguel waited goddamn almost a whole year to show the DG sunset.
Yeah,
I
that-
think that's
7 months.
That's a strange thing. It didn't help the project at all. However, I do think that it has its place as just like a throw it in there.
I
what it
think it
does.
will be great. I think because the problem with sunsets is they look really good when they're babies, and then they brown out. Is what people say. I
Yeah.
think it might actually keep the browning out from happening.
Yeah, it keeps
Yeah.
because it's getting lighter. Like every time I see
Yeah, they
it,
get a little brighter.
Those
They get a little
difference
lighter.
better.
Yeah.
yeah,
And what we see is, it holds its cleanliness when we look at like a DG clown. Maybe with the sunset, it does the same thing. We just don't see it being so clean because sunset's such a chaotic, scattery, granite type deal going on.
I mean, you can't go wrong with hypo sunset.
Dude, what are you doing right now, dude?
I'm
You're
trying to
on
find-
he's on Grinder right now, dude.
Oh my god,
Why do you keep swiping right,
I'm trying
dude?
to find you something, dude.
Dude, stop swiping right.
is everything okay at home, Andrew? Why are you on Grinder?
So this is a full-grown
What are you looking at?
man.
I can't even see it. The
A full-grown
camera's not here.
man.
It's over
Where's
here.
that at? Where's that at? We can pull it up. Where's that at?
It's down some.
Can you
What
just-
is it?
Just send it
What
to DM it to me, Andrew, and I can pull it up.
Jacob.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was
What am I
gonna say. I was just saying, Sunset Hypo shit looks amazing. That's one thing
Yeah.
I've seen. I saw Brock's Sunset Hypo stuff in person at Winston's table, and definitely breathtaking shit. So I do know like Hypo DG Sunset shit will be amazing. I think.
Yeah. I think it's
Anything
I
to
think
keep
that
it
might be
going
the key with
brown.
it.
Yeah, I think like Andrew was saying, like anything not dark is good for sunset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sunset, you want a
Also-
dark sunset.
What was the gene you were saying you saw in Sunset and you weren't impressed? Was it
Those-
chocolate?
No. It's stranger, but then I saw
Oh,
one that
wow.
was actually
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
there's two different ones. That's right. No, but it was a different gene. You were telling me about it. It was in a dark gene. It's like mahogany or something, or chocolate or something. And you were like,
no, I said I was gonna do chocolate, but I'm not gonna do it because I don't think it's gonna work good.
This is hot.
So that
You produce this?
that's the male, the leopard spawn on Sunset Head Clown. I think that was I didn't shortly after that Justin produced the leopard sunset head clown. No,
Right.
leopard sunset clown. So it obviously is a better animal, but this is the first time I saw that combo. I sent you a couple more. That one that's not a lot of pattern. That's a pastel leopard sunset head clown female. That one.
Okay, what is this one?
It's a pastel leopard sunset head clown.
Oh,
female.
there's pastel in this.
Yes.
Not a fan.
But out of the egg, it looked like dog shit. As it grew, right there, it's at about 500-600 grams. As it grew, it got a lot brighter. It settled in a lot better. I didn't expect it to, but it did look better.
all right, Andrew, wrap up the brown snake talk, dude.
Land the plane. Hold on, let's
Wrap
look at
it
one
up.
more. I want to look at one more.
Wrap it up, Andrew. Give us the grand
Hey,
finale, dude. Come on,
listen,
dude.
these are nice though. These look sick. I like these. You
Everyone
kept
loved
these?
that.
You kept these or did you sell them?
The one on the left I kept. The middle one I sold. People wanted that. Miguel offered me fucking 12K off the rip for that one right there.
Wow.
Before it tested for clown, and then I tested it wasn't head clown, and then I wish I would have taken his 12K.
Did you test for yellow belly too, or no?
What's that?
Did you test for yellow belly? Because it says that it might have one of them might have yellow belly.
I didn't have yellow belly in the pairing. But
why is there a yellow belly in parentheses?
Because I thought the male might have it, and then I tested it at the time, and then it didn't. Wait, where do you see? That's the snake above it, isn't it? The blue tape.
It says the right one, the very far right one. Yellow leopard, spot nose, possible yellow belly, sunset, 50% het clown.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, wait,
I don't remember. That was like a while ago. But those babies came from that female sunset that you showed first. That was their first clutch.
So where's
Andrew?
What?
Oh,
those babies came from that female sunset you first showed. Look like a turd in the
so
picture.
You thought it was yellow belly in the male, and then it ended up not being.
No, I thought the mom actually. Now that it was that Brad Boa snake, I think. Now I'm remembering. Dude, I got CTE, bro. What the fuck want from me?
Sunset
and
killing us, dude. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Dude, fuck this dude.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
And listen, I will. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Jacob.
No, go ahead. I want to hear it. Just wrap it
dude,
up.
I'm rambling right now.
Wrap it up, dude.
Never mind.
All right, can we talk about your guys' podcast, please? Like, what's first and foremost? You guys know there's over 100 reptile podcasts in the game.
What?
I watch none of them.
At least.
Listen.
Yeah.
No, shout. There's a couple of them I have mad respect for, but your guys' man, like, you want to talk about something that is so just like not like the usual shit. You know, you guys obviously talk about the ball game and stuff like that, but man, your guys' dynamic and your chemistry is just like kind of like obviously what it is now. But you know, whose idea was it? Let's get to that. Like, who had the idea about starting a podcast, and what's the schedule like right now with the podcast? What's the future looking like? Let's get to that.
Let me start. So this guy, he loves the camera, dude. He loves being in front of it.
You don't look at your hair.
Look at how beautiful he is, dude. Look at him scratching his eyebrow, dude.
God was good to me. What do I
Anyways, he actually was doing the podcast thing with his channel, doing the typical, the 100 other people doing shit type thing, like
I wasn't doing a podcast.
Vlogs. Weren't you doing like vlogs or something at one point?
I was doing fucking videos.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you're into that shit, video and shit. And then you were doing a podcast. Sorry, dude. Anyways, so like I've always been like, fuck no, I don't want nothing to do with a podcast. I like going on other people's podcasts. They're fucking cool, but I don't personally want anything to do with it. So he had always been like hitting it up, like we should do it. And then it really took a long time to even become something that we actually said, all right, let's do it. But we finally got to a point where we're like, we don't want to be like everything else. We're not going to sit there and ask reptile breeders the same questions and, talk about, like there's plenty of that going on, dude, and like you said, nobody's watching fucking 99% of it. No. So
nobody's watching ours either, to be fair.
Well, yeah, but at least there's a valid reason not to listen to us, dude.
That.
Yeah.
But so I think we kind of just started brainstorming ideas of like how we wanted to, and it kind of just, that's how it grew. It was like spitting ideas, and before we actually went with it and did it. But
we also had like quite a bit of a trial run because we always talked about when we're cleaning rats or whatever. We should be filming this. There's a lot of funny shit that's said between the two of us, and we both listen to the same podcast, non-reptile podcast. We like the dynamic of like. We like the idea of, let's say, a Rogan, for example, where it's just off the cuff, just go with whatever, have a conversation. I don't like, initially in the beginning, I was trying to bullet notes and structure certain things, but it just never really worked. Didn't feel organic, and we wanted it to feel like that. We wanted it to be watchable because we used to watch podcasts, and a lot of the ones that I watched, especially the first year, were like, okay, I got to get through this because I got to say I watched it, or I'm going to learn something. It's like, I don't feel like we have a lot to teach. We want to put our opinions out there, but we also kind of wanted to keep it like, I don't know. We're fine if only 25% of it's about snakes. We're okay with that.
Yeah. Some weeks it's all about snakes, and some weeks I don't even think we talk about snakes.
We talk about fucking animal teams that we're going to fight each other.
Yeah,
we're fucking child. We're children. Yeah.
Well, I can't stand like stuff that's fully uniformed, right? Like I hate shit that's like, dude, what the fuck? Like this questionnaire, like what's like? I felt like these were questions that you literally just copied down from another podcast, and that's how I feel. And one thing I love about the podcasts I listen to that are non-reptile are just people who are conversating. And I don't know what it is, but like obviously it's conversation topics I'm interested in. But when it feels natural, like when it just feels like two dudes or fucking whoever's chopping it up about something you're learning from, I that grabs my attention more than hearing some fucking goddamn cornball talk out of his ass. You know what I mean?
And
Yeah.
I don't think you can fake that. I don't think you can fake the organicness of the
And we're still learning and like getting comfortable, and like we still don't really know what we're doing or what it is going to be. We're still like, I think we're still just kind of like, we're just doing it. We're having fun.
fucking winging it.
We turn the fucking camera on. We sit down. We get everything going on. This guy takes 25 minutes to figure out how to get the mics to work. Eventually, we get it going. We sit down. We fucking talk shit. We talk about snakes. We talk about his favorite candidate, Kamala Harris. We talk about all kinds of cool shit, dude.
This guy takes fucking no minutes to produce nothing and to get nothing running. So that's cool.
This guy takes 100 minutes to do nothing, dude.
Dude, why do I feel like Jacob just shows up and he's like, all right, is it showtime yet? And
that's what he does.
Dude,
Andrew's
hold on.
I'm the rock star here, dude.
Hold on, I
Andrew's
go get high.
stressed out.
Oh, look at this guy. Oh, really?
When I fucking
what's
get
that
high,
right there,
I turn
dude?
into a fucking I do it, but I'm not functional, dude. So when I do it, I'm like checked out.
Yeah, I know.
This guy
dude. Hey, you ever want to fucking see something funny, dude? Get this guy high and tell him to like walk or anything.
I can walk.
Just tell him to do anything, dude. It is like watching a slow motion train wreck. Dude.
I'm not good high.
In slow motion, I mean, because he's fat and slow, and it takes him a long time to get from point A to point B.
Biggest thing is realizing you're not good high. Some people don't like
He's
still
a rookie,
smoke
dude.
when they know they're not good at it.
He's a rookie too.
You're so cool.
Dude, don't talk to your shaman
Hey,
like
dude,
that,
you're
dude.
so fucking cool.
Don't
Dude.
talk to your shaman like that.
Hell
Dude.
yeah.
No,
I
yeah.
was-
So yeah, but he's gotten better. Dude,
I used
guy's used to fall out, bro. Like he was on a mushy trip or something.
Dude, I
Dude,
go green in the shower and just hung over like a fentanyl.
this guy be
addict.
laying in the fetal position in the shower while it's just running. The hot water's
just, like,
run out. It's
Hunched
just
over,
cold
standing
water,
up, like,
and he's
dude.
crying in there, and he's just like,
Hey, look.
he's talking about some like stuffed animal he used to have when he was 5 and shit. Dude,
Yeah.
it's a mess, bro.
But yeah, he does just show up and fuck off. No, he
I'm good at it too.
relaxed.
Fuck you, bro.
Dude. But yeah, that was our thing. We're very much aligned when it comes to comedy, politics, common sense, there's things about the world. So
Big booty hose.
yeah. So we just like, dude, fuck it. Other people are doing it. It is, I don't want to say it's therapeutic, but it's nice, dude. I look forward to it every week, even if sometimes, and every time we do them, we're like, dude, that one sucked. That one fucking sucked.
It
And then
did,
when I go to edit, I'm like, dude, this one's good.
That's what I'm saying. I think the ones that suck, guys, are the ones you're not doing. I will be honest, okay? Because
Yeah.
I would like a more consistent.
yeah,
like,
I know,
we-
dude. We
that'd
have
be
so many
great.
that we lost too. We have so many that we re-recorded and like they just went into the ether somewhere. They're gone.
I'll say this: we're not tech savvy.
Yeah, we're real bad at that.
And
You thought we were bad
that's
at-
why. Listen, guys, one of the reasons why I love doing lives because I never have to go back and hear myself. I would not be able to like go through a whole like I have to go back and re-edit this whole like
Yeah.
thing and listen to shit because I would cringe so hard. It's
too.
easier when you just say it and you can just forget about it.
Right?
I know.
Yeah, because we are pretty cringy, dude.
We should start doing lives, huh?
I think lives are great because listen, the reason why it would make sense to do video format is because once you become monetized, that's where you could make a couple coins off YouTube. But I mean, let's be real. By the time that happens, it's going to be nothing where you're going to be too fucking crazy about. You're better off doing lives where you get super chats at least. And like,
Yeah,
like it's better to interact with the crowd. You know what I mean? Versus video
Yeah.
formats. I think both can't go wrong, but man, lives are great. Like I've always debated like, man, should I like stop the lives or like do more videos? But like I said, I like fucking with the people and I just feel like it's more genuine. Like it's more raw when it's live. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I like both ideas, and I think it'd be cool to do lives every once in a while. But I actually like the other way too. But especially because sometimes well,
here you guys. Know,
I will say something that we
There we
can't
go.
put out. You know,
You guys know what? You know, I played that game, not giving a fuck what I said for a long time.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, I
sure
know.
enough, I'm like, God damn, that needs to I better stop.
Yeah.
now. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
right?
Every now and then we get on a good one and like, dude, fuck this, fuck that. And PC goes out the window. Well, we never had it anyways. But one of the things that I like about the live that I dislike about the pre-records is like there's so many topical things that we discuss that I mean we put out a week later and it's fucking people have forgotten about it.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
time sensitive shit we talk about. It doesn't make any sense to release it 2 weeks later.
It's a lot of, I mean, because if you really want to take it serious, and that's the thing, it's better when it's not serious, when you're just doing it. But it sucks because you're like, well, I want to see some sort of like gain of the growth. And that's because you have to fucking hustle out the shorts, and you have to put out clips, and you have to like literally do tedious social media shit that gets so old. But if you don't do it, you won't grasp any kind of attention on anything. Like, and it kind of makes everything like, well, dude, you know, that's why it's kind of like, don't get upset if your shit's not growing and you're not taking it serious. You know what I mean?
I mean, I was just thinking about. Oh, go ahead.
No, you're good.
No, I was just saying that the Opus clip thing. We were doing that in the beginning. I was doing that in the beginning, and then
so hard
stopped. And it's like it was so beneficial though, because we get 10,000 hits on a whatever, on a video and on a clip, and a lot of feedback started to grow.
Yeah.
And then I just stopped, I guess, out of laziness or whatever. And I noticed a definite.
Well, because like Andrew, okay, not that you're doing this for money, but let's just say that each short that you were getting those views on was giving you like $3,000 or something. That would change everything. Like you'd be like, fuck. And that's kind of like why there's levels to like everything. Like, dude, me, I just now got someone to start doing the shorts for me, because I was like you, I would just be like, I got so much other going on right now. The last of my worries is a short that doesn't pay me nothing, but it does keep my episodes relevant and it keeps it going, right?
Part of the machine.
Yeah, but like, mind you, it's all about like how important is it about what you're saying to get out to other people. And as small as this reptile world is, bro, there is a lot of fucking reptile podcasts out there that give out terrible advice, bro. I'm talking about really bad advice. So if I were you guys, I would definitely want to be a part of the realm, which is very small in the reptile podcast world, of people who are putting out good advice. And like, and speaking from experience, like, bro, there's fucking people out there who have a podcast who don't even breed. Like there's people out there giving business advice and giving you breeding tips, and they haven't bred a snake in fucking 15 years.
Yep.
What the fuck? And that's gaining some sort of like what the fuck? What are we talking about here? So
you're going.
Go ahead.
No, people are going, but by taking that information, running with it, you're going backwards, and you're stalling out your progress.
Especially someone not successful at it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and what that's going to do to people that just get in is they're going to take that as gospel, and they're going to run with it. And their first 2 years is going to be a total fucking train wreck, and they're going to jump right out of it and have all these animals.
Or how about actually shitting on the ball python industry?
Well, they'll do that too on the way.
Being a ball python podcast and then shitting on it, like legit shitting on it, not
but then also telling you who to ship with.
right.
Yeah.
But I'm serious. Like there's like I know you joke about the ball pythons and shit, but I know we've talked about it. I know where your heart's at with that. But like there's people that legitimately are shitting on the industry as a whole, but they also are in business because they're in the ball python community. It just doesn't make any fucking sense.
Well, because you're two-facing it. They're trying to play the persona like fuck the ball pythons, but then yet we got Justin Kabelka on, guys, and you know what I mean? It's kind of like, what the fuck what's the purpose of this?
Well, it's how they compensate for their lack of success, I think.
Yeah, but you're doing nothing different. Everyone brings Kabelka on. Like Kabelka's no stranger to any.
No. By them shitting on the market, I'm saying they're compensating for their lack of success in the market.
Yeah.
I think that's their way of like saying
that's their way of justifying it to themselves why they didn't succeed.
But that kind of influence, that kind of influence divides a lot of the shit that we are trying to do as a whole. You know what I mean? Because you see this lot of like clicky little fucking, support this and support that, even though if it makes sense to save money, don't do that. What the fuck? I don't understand here. You know what I mean? Like, and this is coming from a lot of people who aren't even fucking breeding. This is what makes me angry. Because I'm like, bro, how the fuck you have an influence and you're not even posting a snake that you made? Or like what? I don't know, guys. I love the people in the game, but we are here for the animals, right? So how are you gonna be a face in a hobby where you don't even have no relationship to animals anymore?
Right.
I think
crazy to me.
I can't really say this for the established people, but I think a lot of the people that either got in when we did or just getting in, I gravitate towards the ones that are humble. I gravitate towards the ones that want to learn, that are just open. They're just into it. They love the idea of it, but they're not coming in with arrogance. They're not coming in with an attitude or anything like that. Those are the people that I don't like. How do you expect to survive? Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to buy a snake from you. I mean, you talked about in the beginning, people just buy your byproduct because they want to buy from you.
Yeah.
if you're if they like you or if you have a certain platform, and that's great. And I don't knock that at all. But conversely, when you have somebody that's arrogant, that rubs people the wrong way all the time, that pisses people off, people are like, dude, I don't care how fucking nice a snake is, I'm not buying it.
Dude, I remember in like 2019, I remember like going on YouTube and like just looking for reptile breeding, ball python breeding stuff, and I found Miguel, and I found a couple other breeders that I'm not going to mention, but it was like watching. It was like parallel universes.
Yeah.
And listening to Miguel talk about like, you know, just this like optimism and this excitement and this like, you know,
fresh
other guy's over here
fresh
breeding
energy.
ball pythons, and he's telling his followers like, oh, this isn't gonna do anything. This is
You're talking about purple shirt guy. You're talking about the purple shirt guy.
Oh, dude.
he called it. He packed it in, bro. He packed it in finally.
I know. I saw.
Thank God.
Nobody annoyed me more.
I
in the
saw. He
beginning
packed
than
it
him.
in. I saw that.
That
the other
guy
day.
was
Someone
so
sent me something.
annoying.
I was like, holy shit.
Dude, you want to talk about never evolving? Literally the opposite of Miguel right there.
That was the irony. That's what I was getting at. That's what I was getting at. Was that
bro.
literally from the beginning? I saw these two different faces, and that was it. That was who I was talking about. And
Same
then literally,
purple
like,
shirt.
if you look
Never
today,
changed.
look at where Miguel's at, and look where he's at, dude. And there's a direct correlation to the mindset and the type of person you are and how you view things and the way you get up and the way you move and persevere, all those things.
Well, not only that, but so for me with him in the beginning, I saw people like Miguel and Justin making money, and I was looking at their Morph Market, I was following, I was like, damn, this is a legit business. And Bob Boom, people like that, right? Then I tuned into one of his podcasts, or not his podcast, one of his videos, and it's fucking straight Debbie Downer. Don't even waste your time. It's a lot harder than it looks. And in my head, I'm like, okay, I haven't bred yet, but it's like, I know the steps. I haven't written down, like, how fucking hard is it really? And if you're going to produce this animal and make this money, these people are doing it. You're not. Why are you not?
You still joined the Patreon though, didn't you?
Stop it.
You did, didn't you?
Hey, both you guys. Yeah, fuck you. Both of you guys were part of my Patreon at one point, so fuck off.
I was a part of a lot of Patreons.
Jacob had to get out of your Patreon so he could keep paying Chris Hardwick.
Yeah.
Wow, what a
dude!
dick.
You were supposed to tell him that, dude.
Now I feel like
Oh, what a dick, dude!
It tight.
Dude, Hardwick, dude.
But dude, that depressing content is not it. I'm telling you right now, that's such a good point, because you would just feel the energy, the different the momentum of how they would talk about projects and just like what the future holds, right? And that goes to a lot of these fucking other people speaking on shit that they have no future in. And that's why it's almost depressing to hear some of these other fucking people talk topics that sound depressing to them, because guess what? They got no future in this. Like they've already checked out, but somehow they want to have a podcast still and talk to people because they got that much time on their hands, I guess. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
It's wild to me. I do this because this is like, I'm like, first and foremost, a lot younger than these other fucking douchebags, but I'm just saying, like, I got nothing but future into this shit, and I got nothing but stuff to show, and like you guys, like, we're talking about projects and snakes, you know what I mean? Like, not about has-been shit.
Well, that's another thing you can't fake, is the passion for it. You can't fake that for very long.
No.
And
catches up
if you can.
Yeah,
that's not normal, but
yeah, it's too much work. So, and that was the thing. And I think when I was watching that, I was like, well, I don't see this dude burning up the market. I don't see this dude making anything cool. I don't see this dude in a room that's taller than 2 inches above his head. I'm like, dude, this is not an impressive facility. And I was like, you're not impressing me, and yet you're shitting on the market. But you're pretty much, he was doing it under the guise that it's not made for everyone. We can all do it, but you know what?
Well,
I'm doing it.
That's
but
an arrogant.
It was arrogant,
dude.
And I read it right away,
Oh, yeah.
and I was like, I'm not listening to this dude. It just bums me out. And even if you don't really know all of what you're talking about, keep it positive. You're in an industry that does make money or has the potential to make money. There's a fuck ton of people in it. It's an international industry. It's growing every day. Why are you gonna put up this wall and like piss people and try and prevent people from getting in? There's seen so many salty people that
weird
just do that.
take, dude.
And I have zero. Like, some of these dudes too that have been in for a minute, like you mentioned, the 15-year-old breeders or even longer. It's like they come back in or they step in and want to comment. It's like, how about you shut up, dude?
Yeah.
First of all, nothing that we do is fucking rocket science. We're not putting people on the moon. This isn't fucking hard. You take a nice snake and you put it with another nice snake, you make nicer snakes. Okay, cool. They did all the fucking work. You just invested the money and the time to clean them. But these people walk around act like they're curing fucking cancer and like we got to kiss their ass. And it's like, dude, I don't give a fuck that you make snakes too. I like people for their for who they are, how they run the business, how they promote themselves, how entrepreneurially minded they are. Other than that, I don't really care how bitching you think you are. Like that's not my thing.
You're
Yeah,
fired up right now,
I'm getting
dude.
fucking
Yeah.
dude.
Dude, you're about to, dude.
I'm with Andrew, bro.
Hey, don't beat my ass, dude.
I'm like, shut up and show me your sales. Like, what are you really doing?
Right.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's right.
That's what
That's what I'm
motivates
saying.
me.
Like, I feel like if you're somebody who does not make, if you make zero money in this game, shut the fuck up. Just shut up.
Well,
Just-
an
I'm
easy
sorry, but
an easy
shut
litmus
up.
test is to be like, hey, let me look at all the dudes that are making money. Oh,
Yeah.
they're all positive. Weird.
Right.
None of them are fucking
what I'm
negative.
And they're not loud and obnoxious or,
Right.
fucking starting shit with everybody all the
But it's
time.
like, okay, just imagine someone like, okay, for instance, I hate to like sound like a jock, but like, for instance, like a group of people hating on the football team because they're not like physically capable to play football. So we're gonna sit here and build a group to shit
Oh,
on
you
the
talking about
football
the
team.
Chiefs? You talking about the Chiefs?
Talking about Jacob in high school is what you're talking about.
Hey, do not.
That's Jacob in high school. Fuck those fucking jocks.
But
Dude,
what's
I've
crazy
been
is like,
football
like
further than high school, dude.
virtually these people could talk shit about this football team because they're not in person. But we all know if this was to change dynamically, a lot of this aggression that we feel on the internet, it's just not the same in person. You know what I mean? Which
Well,
I don't
and-
want to go ahead.
That's I think it's super important too. Sorry, I keep interrupting you, dude. I'm fired up.
No, you're good. You're good. You're
Calm
good.
down, dude. Sorry, dude. Go get a massage.
No.
I'm
I
not
think
massage.
I think that I forgot what I was gonna say. Go ahead.
I said
Okay, I want to get to this, okay? Because guys, you guys are two fucking good guys. Like me, I know, like, because I have this platform and I've let loose and I've definitely fucking, say what I have to say sometimes. So I will say some of the backlash that has been on me, I could say, okay, maybe I had that coming, but I feel like you two have had some of the lowest piece of shit people in this hobby try to come after you guys over personal shit that made no fucking sense.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously you had some really life-changing stuff happen to you, Andrew, over the last couple years. But to hear someone kind of attack you for what you went through, like on a YouTube channel, how did you delegate that? Because I feel like Jacob was really pissed off. I know he got fired up over it, but I never talked to you about how you felt during that, and like getting personally attacked, like when it comes to like something non-related to the reptile world. You know what I mean?
Right. I thought it was fascinating. It kind of falls in line with what you're talking about with the football team thing. It's like,
yeah.
Dude, first of all, me personally, it's not my character to do that, and it's also not my character to comment on things that I don't know absolutely fuck all about. I'll never do that.
Yeah.
And if I do, I'll preface it with, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. This is what I think. However, when you make statements about my personal life that I intentionally try not to bring onto the platform, like my dad passed or something like that, nobody knew about, even my close, because I didn't put out. I don't need the fucking sympathy. I don't need the advertisement.
Downer. Yeah, you don't want the downerness. You're just like, I'm not like, we don't need to be like this.
I'm here for the snakes, have a good time, and to kind of link up with people and network and all that. The person you're talking about, that dude, I think he's like 5'6", maybe.
He's the size of a mite.
Dude, I met him in Arlington. I've never been nothing but nice to that dude. And the fact that he took his little activist mindset and he tried to levy it against me and trying to make these claims like I'm a murderer or this or that. It's like, dude, when he went on and he rambled, I can only watch so much because I just get fired up.
So cringy. Yeah, it's just the most cringiest content. It's so bad. It's so bad.
And you know what the kicker is?
And obviously that's why he disappeared. Thank God. But I know he's under the sewage somewhere. He might come up, especially after this podcast. And expect it, but he needs his 150 views somewhere. So,
well, that's another thing too. You're gonna do this for 3-4 years, and your growth is about that of a fucking inchworm. It's like you haven't moved a needle at all. It's like
right.
So, and the fact that he would come out of nowhere after I've done nothing and claimed it, and talk to me about it first. If you're interested and you have an agenda, I don't care. I'll talk to you.
Yeah.
And I'm very open about it. I've never had a problem.
That guy's a pussy. He doesn't talk to people. He's a big bitch.
Yeah.
Big pussy.
And so I just thought it was fucking pretty rich that he claimed to know so much about something he knew nothing about. And obviously, I talked to my contact. You talked to some BLM activist in LA that also knows fucking nothing about, one, the law, and two, about my case. So I was always down to talk about it. I never wanted to bore people or put my personal shit out there just because I didn't feel like it was necessary.
Yeah.
When it happened, Jacob was fucking fired up. Jacob wanted to scorch the earth.
Well, let me touch on that because that happened. If you listen to the podcast prior to that one, he was beefing with me. And he made a comment where he basically was saying, like, you got to be careful who you talk to because you wouldn't want somebody to bring out some information about one of your buddies that might be bad and make him look bad in the industry.
Yeah.
He told on himself.
Yeah.
So he did that to try to fucking get it back to me, which let me remind people, the whole reason why me and him had beef is because when Barczyk was dying, he put up a post of a picture, like not a very good picture of Barczyk, like Barczyk towards the end.
Yeah.
And he put, this dude is gone.
Yeah.
Strategically
did that. Yeah.
Yeah, strategically did that. He knew what he was doing. And I fucking called him out on it. And I don't even know Barczyk, dude. Like Barczyk wasn't even a part of me getting into this. I didn't even know who he was until I was already in here. Right. I have no, there wasn't even my dog in the fight, so to speak. Yeah. But I called him out on that. I'm like, dude, and he could never respond to me, but then he just like took it to his shows. And I for the life of me, dude, I don't, it's bizarre that you can't even communicate with me when I reach out to you, but then you're going to talk that much about me dude, the guy, I was getting messages from people weekly that I was, a half hour of his show. And I'm just like, about what, dude? Like he didn't even talk to me about it. So like, it just, the whole point is it just goes to be the character of the person, dude. Yeah. Like he was willing to try to smear Andrew, who had done nothing wrong to him, who'd actually met him, just to, I don't know, cause a wedge, create chaos in our lives.
It's because you call him
very political.
It's because you called him and his friend fat.
Well, and irrelevant. That one really burned them.
Oh, for sure.
I still see posts on Instagram of like not relevant or whatever,
Well, he's one of those people. He's one of those people in the industry that you could look at as far as snake production goes and be like, dude, what? And my biggest thing with him, which I thought was so hypocritical and ironic, was the fact that he's using his young son's platform to push his own agenda. And then when he gets called out, he says, I'm just doing this as a family. I'm doing this for my son.
It's like, a thumbnail. It's a thumbnail.
Shut
what
up,
a loser, dude.
You're a tacky motherfucker with no spine, and clearly you don't understand what you're doing.
Yeah. And what a disservice for your kid too. That's fucking terrible.
Right.
Dude, what the fuck?
Another.
I'd be embarrassed if that was my dad. I'd be like, holy shit. Fuck
dude,
that.
Start your own fucking political discourse.
Can you take that hat off, please?
Dude, hold on, man.
Hold on.
Oh yeah. You ever notice that he gets that double chin out, so the camera's always like up here, like looking down at him? And then when he's sipping, it looks like he's pouring. He's so far back, it looks like he's pouring his coffee out forward. When he's sipping it this way, dude.
But yeah, the whole thing when that kicked off, I was like, man, the balls in this motherfucker. And I would be totally open. If he wanted to have a debate, I would debate a fucking politician. I'd debate anybody about the whole situation and about the politics and the legalities surrounding it. He won't do that though. And just like a lot of people that make false claims about things just to, build themselves up, they're not willing to do that because they don't have any facts to follow it up with.
Because it's over.
I got every fucking fact in the book about it.
When you present the facts to them personally, one-on-one, it's over for that. What they're trying to do is diminished. You know what I mean? Right. So instead of getting to that, it's better to just run and hide. And
they want an emotional argument.
Yeah, right.
They want an emotional argument, not a fact-based argument.
It's a child argument. Like this is like you're not even face to face. Like, bro, like you're talking shit from
or it's an agenda driven, or they can utilize it. In this case,
it is an agenda driven. Like he is motivated by other fucking bottom feeder people to do what he's doing for sure. We all know that. It's not stupid. You know what I mean? We all know he's not sponsored.
And I don't think he realized, or maybe he does realize how many fucking people. I've had so many people hit me up about that. People that are respected in the industry or have a law enforcement background or whatever. They're like, he did fucking what? And these are people on his own side of the coast. So it's like, you pissed, whether they were, I don't know if they were just bullshitting me, but they seemed genuinely bothered by it. And I could have easily just drug it out in the public sphere and caused drama. And it was, ask Jacob, like, it was hard for me not to. So it's harder for me not to do that than it is for me to just to shut the fuck up about it.
That would have just gave him any kind of life he needed if you would have responded to anything. You know what I mean?
And that was my big point, was like the only relevance he has is when you respond back at him.
And that's why I don't even mention the douchebags even like name at all whatsoever. Because whatever, he could clip what he wants, but I never said your name, you little fucking parasite. I'll tell you that much. But most importantly, I just feel like I have no respect for somebody who can't talk. Like you can't have the balls to personally talk to me. You got no balls.
And it's also it also goes back to the mind your own business. As simple as that. Like back in the day, it's like, dude, I've never done anything to you. Two, I haven't put this out there for the public to know about. Not because I'm ashamed or embarrassed, but because I don't think it has a place here.
Yeah.
Unless somebody asks me about it. And also, it's like You don't even know about the case, and yet you're trying to smear me publicly for what? Because your collection's dog shit, because nobody likes you, because you have a stupid fucking hat, and because you use your kid's platform to talk shit.
Fucking
And
ugly.
then want to
God damn,
and
you're
then
ugly.
talk about how much of a roofing entrepreneur you are. Shut the fuck up, dude.
You know what's funny is when he released that episode and he showed like a couple of videos. He showed a video that wasn't even had anything to do with it. It wasn't even you. It was like a completely different situation.
Oh yeah,
and
dude.
he was like, "This is video of Andrew talking to the
what's
driver
funny
before
about
the shooting."
What's funny about
And
that?
it wasn't even the same incident or the same cops or the same people or anything.
And what's
It
crazy?
just showed how stupid like the information gathering process for him was.
What's crazy is like where I worked was South LA, so it was busy. So you're gonna get a lot of those, you know, those YouTube lawyers that want to film it and try and get cops slipping or whatever. And the clip that he pulled was from my area, but it was I know the two deputies. I could fucking show proof that it wasn't me. Plus, they look way more fit. So I was like, but it's like, dude, you're misinformation spreading just to back your point is so dumb. Like it's so embarrassing to me. I'm like, you're so far off base, dude. And everything that I could say is backed up by fucking coroner's reports, backed up everything. Hard evidence you can't deny it. Physics. So if you ever want to have that conversation, I'm totally down. I think it's super tasteless.
You got trumped basically. Like
Yeah.
what they were doing to Trump. That's what they were doing to you.
And maybe
Politicizing it.
Maybe you heard me make some fucking base comment and it didn't sit well with him or what. I don't know. But I love how tough he is. I'm at the Bronx at this fucking train stops where I used to go. I'm not fighting nobody, you fucking dork.
Oh,
Shut up, dude.
That was the funniest thing I ever seen in my life, dude.
Funny, bro. Oh my
I
god.
like the Albany.
But listen, I don't like the fact
That was good.
because you mentioned about how you wanted to steal Snake from Andrew earlier as a joke, right? And we all know that situation, all right. But your situation got compared to someone stealing, which I didn't like very much.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we had some.
Yeah.
I don't want to say names, but I'm sure
Yeah.
people can connect the dots. But there's people defending the stealing act, saying, "Well, there's other people like Andrew. Like, what's your excuse?"
Oh yeah,
for that?
remember that?
This is okay.
I felt so. I kind of got angry on that one. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I remember that.
This was Jacob's the crux of his argument was like, dude, you got people believing this and running with it.
Yeah.
And my thing was like, fuck those people.
Well, they
Yeah,
still
fuck-
it's
yeah,
always
seriously, fuck
fuck
'em.
those
Fuck
people, but at the same time,
Seriously
there's
is.
other people that are getting fucked by those people that we want to fuck. But now we got to unfuck the other people that got fucked by the people that were fucking them in the fucking first place.
Yeah.
That was intense. But if people ever want to know, I got videos, I got everything to back it up. I could totally have a conversation about it. I grew up a knucklehead. I didn't like the fuck cops growing up. I know how those idiots think. I became a cop, then I went to jail. And I know on paper it doesn't look good that I'm a 2-time felon with a strike and this and that. And people think, oh, you admitted to this, so you obviously are guilty. They clearly have no fucking clue about how the justice system works in LA.
Dude, you're like mini Trump, dude.
I'm mini Trump,
You
dude.
got shot in the hand,
He's a Trump
Same
of the
body
reptile
fat.
world.
same body fat,
Son of a bitch.
same hairline.
Crushed Diet Cokes.
That DC,
Okay.
DC's
Hey,
on tap.
Sorry, go ahead.
Hey, on a serious note, though, not that this isn't serious what we're talking about. I'm just saying, Darian from Morph Market has been called like the Trump of the reptile industry. I want to know what you guys have to think about Darian and Morph Market shipping. What do you think the future really hold? Like, if he could uphold this discount for people, right? Like, what do you think? What do you think is going to happen for the new keepers, the current keepers, all that shit? Let's get into Morph Market. What you guys think and all that?
Well, I personally love Morph Market. I've never had any issue with Morph Market. I've never cared enough to like see whose feelings are being hurt by what meme or whatever that whole fiasco was. I mean, I personally thought it probably wasn't in his best interest running a company to be doing some of the things he was doing, but like I'm not one to tell anyone anything about that kind of shit.
Right.
So, but as far as like, oh man, the auctions have been awesome. Like they've allowed me to move a lot of stuff that, yeah, I could price them at a certain price and it's not much more than what they were going for on auction, but they might sit for a year or they may, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
but the auction gives me the ability to move these animals. And a lot of times, sometimes you get burned, sometimes you get really good pricing on stuff. It's hit and miss, but I wanted to touch on the shipping thing because I was skeptical at first. And I'm not really like a big, like, I'm not like I don't have a company. Like the first couple of years, I just used I would just go like on Google and then like whatever one popped up, I'd push it and then I'd sign into my account and I'd use whoever it was. I started using Redline a lot, like over the last year. But like when I saw this coming up, I went on there. I had somebody order it, and they sent me in the messaging in Morph Market. They sent me like a little link basically with all their information on, and a little button to create the label. Like
That's
instantly,
the best
which is a
feature.
fucking game changer in itself.
Yeah.
You don't have to go on another app and you got to put all the information in manually and do all that bullshit.
Right.
It's right there. You click it, and it's like all you're doing is putting in weight and size of box, and you're done, dude. And you're out the door. And then I saw like how much fucking money I was saving, and now they've upped it up. I guess it's like 72% now.
79%.
79%.
Is it 79 now? Oh my
Dude,
god!
I shipped out like what did I ship out the other day? I couldn't even believe the price. I was like, dude, I'm gonna have to change my shipping prices, dude. But like it's low, dude.
Maybe 72. I don't remember. Anyways, it's crazy. That whole the first one I got, and like print label and all this shit was there. I was like, this is like,
Yeah.
Because always, you guys got to
That's
go back
the
and
worst
forth.
part about print
It's
labels.
the worst part. And I think it's genius. And the discounts, because you can kind of supplement it with the income he's getting from the memberships, allows him to drop the prices. I think that
That's genius.
it's very hard to compete with that.
Yeah.
It just makes sense from an economical and like efficiency standpoint. Like we all want everything to be as easy as it possibly can, and we want to remove steps that we don't need with anything in life. So like it's, I mean, I get there's like a loyalty aspect to this to a lot of people, but
I don't give a fuck about that.
industries
We're trying to save
change,
we're saving
like
money here, bro. Like this is about saving fucking money and saving money for our
a
customers.
lot.
Like,
Dude,
like,
I'm telling you, in the last 3 weeks, I've probably saved, I would say probably close to like $500 in shipping. And I don't
Same
ship
here.
a ton. But I ship every week. I'm shipping out a few here and there.
and you
But
got
that-
kids, you
dude,
got
that's a
kids,
lot
right,
of money.
Jacob? Jacob,
What?
you got kids, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure you could use that $500. I'm sure you could.
That motherfucker wish I give it to him.
Spend it all at the video arcade down the street.
But listen, bro, like guy,
Dude,
like
I bought him shoes last year, okay?
But the agenda of trying to like not use Morph Market because they're not liable or they're not offering a white glove service or there's things that can, I don't understand that. I've used Morph Market since they launched it. I've been saving nothing but money and all my packages have made it. Okay. I don't, do you guys see any risk at using Morph Market because they're not an established shipping company?
Well, let's be real, dude. Like FedEx is doing like 97% of the legwork in this entire operation.
Dude, what the fuck?
So, I mean, in that regard, like, okay, I'll say this. I'm sure there are some bigger breeders out there that have relationships with some of these guys in the shipping industry.
Of course,
And
100%.
They have a cozy relationship. And
But hold on, Jacob. They have a cozy rate, right? They
That's
have
it.
Right.
They have,
That's what I
they
was
have
gonna-
a,
That's what I was going to say.
they have a
Right.
cozy. They have a Morph Market rate is what they have.
Right,
And
right.
Why,
So
why they have the
people-
Morph Market rate? They're fucking raping the little guy, dude.
But shouldn't that in there? Shouldn't that be like, okay, that's good for me, but it might not be good for these other guys? And like, I don't understand why there has to be like a conflict of interest there. Like they can enjoy their little spiffy relationship with these people, and also they can allow other people that don't have those relationships with these guys to save money as well. It's like, it's just one of those things where it's like, obviously there's something behind it. And it's, I'm sure these shipping companies are shitting themselves, and it's not even about the price, dude. It's about the convenience. If we're all on Morph Market doing our dealings and making our sales, it just makes sense to have it be a push button option in the app that you're already on, doing everything else on, to get those animals shipped out.
Yeah, because
Go ahead.
had it not been for that, I saw those discounts. I was like, damn, might as well jump on it this month and save some money.
Yeah.
And then I was like, but I'll go back to Redline afterwards. But then it's like, oh, they're just, the discounts keep coming. And I have this print label button. This is pretty
The print
fucking
label
nice.
button, I'm telling you, that's game
It's
changing.
money.
No, they could lower their price to like whatever they want, but they can't ever have that.
No.
They'll never be able to have that option because people aren't buying snakes on ship your reptiles, and like that's not a thing. It's not even, doesn't even exist for them. They can't.
We're talking about the life of convenience here. Like
right.
like we just sold a snake and now we have to click a button to get the label. It's that easy.
Dude, it's bullshit, dude.
But what I'm saying is like, the conveniency behind a transaction, which we all know, we just want these to go as smooth as possible. Right.
Right.
But when we talk about like goddamn near 40%, 50% savings per, like, bro, this shit adds up. Like,
Think about,
It adds up.
what really fucking makes a difference is in the lower end animals.
Yes, big
Because
time.
nobody wants to spend $100 on an animal and
No.
then $75 on shipping.
Yeah.
So it's like they'll do 130 or 140.
Right.
I had
$30 shipping for
I had to
$100
get-
snake is way more reasonable than $80 shipping for $100 snake or a $60 snake. Dude, you're paying more for shipping. Dude, what the fuck?
I'm gonna be a dick and throw my good homie under the bus right now. Shout out to Marshall Mendez, but Marshall the other day or just today was like he had somebody who was bidding on a snake, and he was like, "Hey, if I win this snake, are you going to charge me $49 for shipping, not $125 for shipping?" And I was like, "Dude, Marshall," I was like, "Don't." I was like, "You understand? People are noticing the cost of shipping now, and people will legit not bid on an auction because they know they could get a cheaper shipping price through somebody else."
Right.
So, and his thing is, he's like, "Well, I don't put a reserve, and I don't want to fucking get a low where I have to pay out of." I was like, "So just put that fucking whatever money you want to make in shipping, just put it in the reserve. So at least you have that covered, right?"
Yeah.
But it's getting that like people are that petty, and not that it's petty, bro. People want to save some coin. It's not a bad thing. Like what's like we talk about how like people are getting these snakes because it's obviously something not only for breeding but therapeutic. People love these animals. You know what I mean? So,
well, it's also like when you buy let's say you buy a service. Let's say you hire a photographer for your wedding. You're gonna pay a premium because it's a wedding, but you're also knowing it's a one-time thing. Yeah. Now, when you're doing repetitive transactions like people do with snake sales, those savings, so meaning like if you hire a photographer, you're not going to pinch pennies on a couple $100 here and there. If you like this photographer better, you're going to pay the extra $200-300, whatever.
100%.
But when you're making repetitive transactions like people do with snake shipments, it's like, dude, I'm going to be doing this a lot more, hopefully. I'm not going to be cool with this doling out twice the amount of money that it costs to ship it when I could easily do it for half the price here, regardless of how cool I think this person that runs this company is or whatever. So it is smart. It has a ton of longevity. It's great for the new people in the industry, and it's really great for everybody. And the convenience is legit.
Yes, sir.
And like I said, man, I don't know. Right now, we think about why people are lowering the prices of their, market snake or whatever is because people are just like all it takes is a few bucks less for people to make a sale right now. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Right.
And it's crazy. Just a few bucks, even on $1,000 snake, $2,000 snake, just a cheaper shipping will make someone say, "Fuck it, I'll do it." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
And I oftentimes, like today, I sold the snake for $600. He's like, "What's the best you could do?" And it was already low. And I was like, "I just throw in the shipping. I don't care. I'll eat the 40, $50." And he's like, "Cool deal." Because it's just one less inconvenience to worry about. And the same way it works for the seller shipping the snake, it works for the buyer knowing, hey, I don't got to worry about shipping. Our shipping's dirt cheap. It's not really a problem.
Yeah.
Dude, nobody
$20-$30, you double the shipping, it's a problem.
No customer is going to get mad if they ask you what the shipping is and you say I got this. It's free.
Right.
The fuck?
Right.
Thank you, man. That's awesome. Like that's the start of a whole relationship. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Exactly.
So
you get $40 less. Big fucking deal, dude.
That's what I'm saying. Like I get it. I get the loyalty, but let's fucking be real. People are loyal to savings right now. All right. And buying Christmas presents for Timmy and other little fucking kids that need it. And I like that's also like the whole agenda that's painted on by certain people out there, like how forcefully it's kind of like, whoa, like I mean about saving. Like I think people, any business sense should look at what makes sense to them, right? And I feel like you should just use whoever you think makes the most sense.
Yeah, for sure.
At the end of the day.
It's really not that complicated. I think these like people's emotions, but like there's other factors to why they're so gung-ho about these other options, you know, and they want to everybody, let's be real, everybody can't wait to shit on fucking Morph Market, whether Darian earned that or not, that's the reality of it. So like
show me somebody who's successfully selling on Morph Market who's complaining about Morph Market.
Right. No,
nobody.
Like I said, I've never had
the
an
auction thing's awesome.
Yeah.
Do
you guys think there should be limits to it though? The auction?
I don't think so. I kind of like how it is. I wouldn't mind an extra couple auctions.
That's the one thing that bothers me is the limit of 2 per month. However,
conversely, you get up to 10 now in a month for $25 per auction. You know that, right?
Right. And so it does pay for itself. So I've done that a couple times, and I've easily made my money.
Yeah,
back.
I do that
so
all the time, dude.
If it's going to ensure cheap shipping prices, I'm down with the $25 per auction price.
Yeah.
I finally had my first bad auction experience, and it wasn't really that bad. But the fucking asshole lived in Canada, and I'm like, asshole, I'm not fucking. He's like, oh, I got somebody. Don't worry. Okay, who is it? Oh, well, he can't ship till May. So you want me to fucking hold this auction, fucking bought an animal till May when you already got it for cheap as fuck, but now you want me to hold. Oh man, I couldn't
for another 7 months.
Yeah,
fuck out of here.
Dude,
that's
you should pair it for him too.
That is one thing that I don't know if anybody's listening that hasn't shipped to Canada before. I have, and let me tell you, it can be a fucking nightmare if you don't know what to expect. So when people what you're saying right now, people might be like, "Oh, it's a big fucking deal." It's like, no, dude. If you're shipping one animal to Canada, you don't have the CITES permits, and you don't have people that are doing it to lump it in with a big package. You're spending like $1,200 fucking $800 on a fucking animal minimum to ship it to Canada. Bye profits. You're paying out of pocket now. And I made that mistake one time. So I'll cover shipping, and then I was like, what the fuck?
Bad
so
idea.
Didn't that shit get stuck? I got Aussies or something for a long ass time too.
Well, so I was using Aussie to ship to Will to give it to the guy. Aussie ended up having a fallout with somebody in his shipment group in Canada, so he canceled the whole shipment, and so then it was. But then the guy was like, "Well, I want my money back." I was like, "Dick, your animal's fine. You already paid for him. You're gonna get your animal." He got him. He's great. It was a good sale. I'm happy I did it. I'm not shitting on anybody. I'm just saying it can be convoluted if you don't understand the international shipping process.
Yeah, you better have your shit lined up correctly, or just have like a good solid plug. But now I just make sure I put in the description on any auction, USA sales only, motherfucker. Like I'm not, please don't do this again. But what are your guys' advice for anyone who put in their 2-3 years already and they're now starting to see some production and it's nice. Like let's just say it's respectable stuff that they're producing and it's stuff that they're available to put out, but they never really sold anything yet, but they have nice stuff. Like what's a good strategy for anyone new in the game who's first year they're producing stuff, but ain't nobody know who the fuck they are?
Well, first of all, if they haven't been spending the last couple of years building up their brand or their Instagram, their whatever they're into, if they have YouTube, whatever they're into, if they haven't been putting the time into that, then it's no wonder they can't sell anything. And I've seen that firsthand with people that I've, helped and sold stuff to. And I've watched some people just hit it hard and now they're producing and they're in a position. Everyone knows who they are. They call them by their first name. And then there's other people that just didn't put in the effort, didn't do anything. And then they're like, well, what the fuck do I do now? And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, you gotta put time in, you gotta put effort into it. It's not just make a snake and put it up, dude. Like people gotta, I'm not going to spend $15K, $10K with somebody
with a Herbert,
and I don't even know who the fuck they are. Nobody knows who they are, and they've got 200 followers. And
just like with any business, there is the entry level work that has to be put in. You got to build that foundation, and unfortunately, for some people who are adverse to social media, that's it. Yeah. That's where you network. That's where you get your name out there. That's where you become known. You post a lot. You comment. You go to these lives like we're doing now. You watch these videos. You do your thing. You soak up as much information as you possibly can.
Go to shows.
And you're organically going to meet people by going to shows, talking online. And that's how people get to know who you are. Then it's like, oh, this guy's got this. Then this person who you became friends with who has, let's say, 5,000 followers. They post a picture of snake on their story like, dude, so-and-so is creating sick shit. Now, it domino effects. So it's massively important. And it's not something that, although it's better if you did, it's not something you necessarily have to keep up. However, like I said, it's much better if you do. But if you don't, at least you get your name out there and you build that strong foundation. Because like you said, you could hatch out a $20,000 snake. Somebody's going to buy it from Justin for 25 because they know Justin, they don't know you.
Right.
And so if you're not doing that, you're hurting yourself. Something else I want to say, but I forget. Go.
It's all that too. Like for instance, if I go on someone's page and I see pictures that are like, some people don't have the greatest cameras. Some people don't have the greatest picture taking skills.
Backdrops.
But there's
fucking laundry basket and a fucking.
But there's
a sock on the floor.
Yeah,
Christ. Lines are half down.
Drywall missing in the wall.
The worst is the dirty hamper and your feet are in the shot.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. So
I hate that.
But we all agree there's a line where somebody just didn't take a good picture. But the bad picture is like where it's just a shit picture and they don't care. Like when I see that image, if I see a really bad like quality picture on someone's page, it's like an immediate like. Well,
turn off.
I'm not even interested anymore.
I'm passing.
So
I'm not following you back.
Yeah.
It's super important. First, I tell my kids this with sports or whatever, as long as you try, as long as you care. And it's the same thing I think with this. As long as you put the effort in to show that you care, maybe don't take that picture today because you got to clean up a bunch of shit. Whatever. Everyone gets in that situation. So make a nice backdrop, take the fucking picture. It's worth 10 times more than if you just get it out 2 days prior. And it has a, like you said, someone's dirty fucking hoof in it. And it's like some worn out shitty carpet. It's like, dude, come on. You got a tube television still? What the fuck's wrong with you? And, but I think that's super important. And like Jacob said, you just, the good thing about it though, is that you don't need to spend a bunch of money. You don't need to put a bunch of time into it to become relevant and to become a positive gain for the industry. Because just like we need the Justins, we need all the entry level people that are excited about this that don't even know what they will fucking like yet. Maybe they like bells only. That's what I like. Bells and albinos. Those are sick as fuck. And now like you couldn't give me one. So your taste's gonna change. Your perspective on the industry is going to change. And go back to what you said earlier about doing the work. That's how you actually gain. That's how you can see the big picture. You can listen to people all day and try to absorb as much info as possible, but you're never going to see the big picture because you don't have the experience. And it's obviously something that requires patience, which I don't have, but it'll force it into you because no matter how impatient you are, how much you want it to push forward, you're going to have those years where that animal doesn't go or where you get slugs or whatever.
Yeah.
And you got that.
I still yet to see anybody come in and make the name for themselves like the way Miguel did. I feel like the way he was able to keep up with not only his projects, but his image on social media.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know, like, dude, I mean, look at all the collaborations he did, obviously fucking working close with Justin, which was the best dude in the game. That's why I was like, dude, you want to be the best? You fucking hang around with the best. Like you get mentored by the best. And that's what Miguel did. Miguel got fucking mentored by the best, but he did his own style with his own shit on his social media, and he was so consistent. Like we all know, like Miguel's vlogs that's where he kept it at, and people were so locked into his vlogs and his Instagram. But dude, he grinded that shit out every fucking day. It's like
Miguel,
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that Miguel is the main person I look up to, and I know it's cliche to say because it's Miguel or somebody says Justin or whoever. I think Miguel's done more for this industry in the short time I've been in than anybody has. Yeah. And I mean that because he's mainstreamed it more than anybody has. Big Justin had that smiley face pied where got a lot of news attention. However, Justin or Miguel's, and that's not a knock on Justin, obviously he makes the best animals. Let's cut it. Let's stop there. But Miguel mainstreamed it to where he's selling to these celebrities and he's posting it and he's going to these functions, he's diversifying his investments, he's doing all kinds of things that you should do as an entrepreneur. And I know, stupid, if you hear my cat in the background, the door's cracked and it's a hairless cat too. It's fucking rules, but he's a mess. He wants to come out here. So, anyways, but what Miguel did inspired more people than I think what anybody's done. People are very inspired, myself included, when you look at somebody like Bob's or Justin's facility and you're like, dude, that's end goal shit. That's rad. Sick ass life. Miguel also, but I have always respected Miguel so much because we chat on the side and he's never big timed me. He's never acted like he's better than you. He's always stayed humble. He's got a good heart. He's a good person. It's not something you could fake. It's not something you could teach. So it's like, that's just who he is. And he happens to be very driven and motivated and successful because of it. So the people that, if we've talked about it before, if anybody's going to be pissed off about shit talking, I think Miguel has a fucking very strong case to be the most shit on one. And it's because of hate. It's because people aren't willing to do what's required. And Miguel, without Miguel in this industry, it's a completely different industry, in my opinion.
Yeah, I couldn't say it better.
Yeah. So
how much money is Miguel sending you, dude?
Yeah, holy shit, bro.
Dude,
what's that check like?
Share it with me, dude.
Pretty sure you guys are gonna get new mics after this.
I know. gold plated mics, dude.
No, but you need people like him, and so it's the future, I think, is bright.
Yeah, because guess what? Like, Miguel came in an era where like there was like only one of a kind Miguel in that sense. Not that there's multiple Miguels now, but there are people out there killing it, like leading by good example right now. You know what I mean? The thing is, it's just like the thing that really is aggravating, but it is what it is. It's like we have people who have like podcasts that they're consistent about, but these are the people that aren't producing shit. Like we need people who are producing sick shit to want to have their own podcast as well, versus the other way around. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because we're here for the animals. Like I get it. Like I love you guys, man. I love the people we meet, but I like the work you do with the animals. That's why I respect you guys so much. No offense, but if you guys weren't relevant, you wouldn't be on this show right now. Like 110%. You would not, like, we would just talk over the phone and be cool. Like there's no reason for anyone who's not relevant with reptiles to be a part of Trap Talk at all, period.
Yeah.
Because it's about the reptiles. It's Trap Talk Reptile Network. You know what I mean?
And I think the hard part that we're constantly trying to like navigate through is, I mean, the animal thing's never going to go away because we're both passionate about it. We both love it. We nerd out on it all day.
Yeah.
And so that's there. So, but almost the trifecta of staying relevant, communicating and networking, and breeding cool animals. And I think if you have those three things, then you can build your platform. And for us, like I said, we're doing the podcast thing because we enjoy it. It's therapeutic, just like the snakes are. We were in the beginning because, you know, you're new and it's exciting, but we're not sitting there looking at all the views we get and this and that. I don't even know. But I enjoy it. And I feel like I'm at a point, we're both at a point where we can't have an opinion about things. Because I try and stay very humble, almost to a fault, to where it's like, no, you can comment on it. But now I feel comfortable enough commenting on certain things, but I still preface stuff with, you know, I'm not in this project, so what the fuck do I really know? This is just an outsider's perspective.
Yeah.
And I think that's okay too.
That's why I'm going to start leaving Sunset alone. I don't even have it.
It's okay to have an opinion. But it's like
there's a lot of shitty Sunset.
That.
I'll say that. There's a lot of shitty Sunset.
Like you don't care if someone says that Sunset.
No,
looks
I
like
don't
shit.
because I like it.
Yeah,
it's like somebody talks
like,
shit about a fucking car I like. I still like the car.
And you've also produced them too, Andrew. Like you get it. Like I think the people who are super like, oh my God, like leave my Morph alone. They haven't really gotten to the level of making it yet. So
it's also an insecurity about it and a lack of
because they're not too sure. Maybe they're like, hey, maybe I don't want this. And it's like, dude, like you're good. Hold it down. Like don't just make it and you'll know if you're gonna want it or not. And I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks about anything that I make. If I like it, I like it. And that's what kind of makes,
and I think
the
main thing the main thing that's at the core of my mindset is, how do I be a net positive to this industry in one way or two ways or three ways, whatever it is. I don't want to take up space. I want to actually contribute something, whether it's a friendship or snakes or advice or whatever. I think as long as you're constantly trying to do that, I think that you're setting yourself up to be in a good spot.
Yeah. All right. Couple wrap up topics. I'll let you guys go. But we didn't really get much to the rodent side of things for you guys. I know you guys have had like a rodent operation going between the two of you for the last couple years. Is that right? Or what's been feeding your guys' collection? Let's get to that.
Well, mainly just our collection. We've been feeding our rats. We basically make, when we're doing good, we make enough. When we have a shitty summer and a massive die off like we did this last summer, we tend to have to find
it was hot.
other resources.
It was hot this year, bro. It was we got some pretty gnarly fucking heat.
Yeah,
waves.
and it was weird, creeped up. It was like the last big heat wave that hit us because we weren't prepared.
Yeah.
So it hit us and we weren't prepared, and we lost a lot of females. So we were like at half capacity, less than half capacity, and we were trying to like. So yeah, like I always hit up Danny at Portuguese Pythons. He breeds a lot of rats, and he actually sells rats. And if he has anything left over from his routes and his people, I hit him up, or I'll hit up Mike Roscoe. He gives me good rates at the reptile shop usually.
And to touch on that, like we still see, and we saw in the beginning, wrote a business plan and everything. We see the massive viability of having a rodent breeding operation as far as financially speaking.
Yeah. For sure.
It's like it's a good it's like cups, plastic cups or bedding or whatever it is.
You have
it's
to be
going
careful
to be
with
used
it though, because it doesn't scale well. Once you get to a certain point, you kind of like.
Well, we never got to that point.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, you were talking about all that stuff. I'm just saying you don't want to go like full blown, like you know.
Well, it's obviously a lot more work than the snakes, but it is extremely nice. The money we've saved, my rat bill before we did this, mine per month was about $2,000.
Damn. Yeah, that's it, dude. I'm very impressed.
So, you know, cutting that out and just paying for bedding and food, it's been a total game changer financially. It has, I don't want to say diminished, but it does it does take away a little bit of your steam when it comes to your own collection, especially when you have it. And it's like everything's in my garage, in a 2-car garage. This little studio area we built, the rats and the snakes. We played Tetris so many fucking times with this stuff.
And giant tegu enclosure with
anyone wants a blue eyes albino tegu male full grown.
Got that?
Oh, boy. Because I need to move that thing. And I spent like $1,000 on the enclosure, sick enclosure, but it's taking up a lot of space. But it's I look forward to cleaning the rats every week because of this dude, because he comes over and we have a good time. It's my time. Cool. I have 4 kids at the house, another one, not living with me, but with the jobs I have, the kids, my wife, all the stuff that comes with that. It's my guy time. I don't go out and party anymore. I'm not that guy anymore. So this is what I enjoy. And it's our one every Thursday we do it. So I recommend it if you can. It's not a lot of money to get into it. I built the racks we have. They've been working pretty good. And
use freedom breeder tubs.
Use freedom breeder tubs and build around that. That's all I'm gonna say.
Build your own racks.
Don't use the cement tubs. They sag. They suck after a while. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Very nice having the food.
Those fucking cement tubs, man. Nothing would be worse than coming in and you see a hole and you go, son of a bitch.
Dude.
Oh, we've seen holes.
Big time.
We've seen a lot of holes, dude.
High powered pellet
Andrew's probably seen a lot more holes than I have, though, I'm sure.
Pause.
Everyone sees your hole.
Yeah, I bet. That you want to.
Yeah, so it's something we're going to continue to do. We'd like to be able to have a facility at some point that's bigger that we can supply rodents to people. And it's not hard. And we got pretty fucking good at it. When we cut our stock down about half when we realized, hey, we don't have the space to sell to people. Let's just cut it down for our collections. Prior to that, we were producing a fuck ton of rats.
We had too many rats, dude.
A shit ton.
But do you guys have clientele to disperse that to if you had overload? Or
I mean, being in Southern California, the market here
everywhere,
is so incredibly untapped when it comes to rodent delivery.
Yeah.
Oh my
God.
It's
so funny because I love my guys who've been dropping stuff off to me every week, but they recently got fucking hit by that heat wave. Same heat wave that you did. Yeah. And it wiped them out. And they're like, MJ, we need 2 weeks. And like they told me the week of, and I was like, I had a bunch of hatchlings that needed to eat. So I stressed out and I hit up Randy. Shout out to Randy from Dark Cloud. But he's like, oh, I got a guy from Temecula who's coming down to Santee today. What do you need? I'm like, what? And I was like, oh, and it was wholesale pricing too. It was like good pricing. And I was so stressed because, you always think you're in a little nest egg with your plug. And this is why I always say you're better. Like KG just said, if you got 30 snakes, you should be breeding your own rats because anything could happen to your plug. All right. Anything that's been consistently coming to you, just like that, it could be over. And I've had it good for so long where I've never had a backup, but that feeling of not knowing, like, now what? It sucked. Like I was shitting bricks because I was like, what the fuck? Like, I don't
look at Reptile store prices. They're out of control.
Oh, yeah. Prices are crazy.
Yeah, well, we're talking like my rodent, I get at least over 120 small rats a week. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you go to a pet shop. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Not going.
Dude, that would be like $700, dude.
No,
at like Triple L, dude, that'd be like $700.
And then motherfucking rat pups going for $4.
I know.
Crazy.
It's nuts.
Dude, it's murder, bro. It's kind of like it's like these shipping companies before Morph Market.
Yeah.
My favorite is when they try to throw like weens at you as like smalls.
Oh yeah.
And you're and then they show you the smalls and they're like, these are the mediums, and you're like,
it just has a big head. No, I mean, but like this is all advice that could really, like, if you happen to have a year or something where you're not productive, you might have some rodents that might kind of get you by. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But I also feel like anyone should consider that. Like, okay, if you really want longevity in this hobby, you got to think of another hustle besides just producing snakes. Because you need a backup, dude. You do. You're going to need it.
Marketing's so important. And that's really the whole driving force for me, starting with the YouTube videos in the beginning and then doing this, is purely marketing, really.
Yeah.
I mean, because if we're not, you could do it on social media, but I think a big part of, like we touched on earlier, people want to buy from you if they like you, if they know you. Big part of YouTube is getting people to know you for free. Yeah. Before you advertise and spend all this money on billboards and paper ads and all this shit. And now you can do it for free from your home. People can really see who you are. And they're like, dude, I like this guy. Let me see what he's got to offer. And even if you don't really have anything, they're still going to support you. And I think that marketing is very much overlooked by a lot of people in the industry.
It's very true, Andrew. Very true.
Because they think they think the animals are going to do the marketing for them. Like they think, okay, I produce this cool thing like Miguel or whoever is, and I'm going to make 20 G's. No, stupid. Like you got, Miguel probably spent 40K in marketing before he even got this snake. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's having like a false premise as your initial motivation. That's the first problem. Like, if you came in thinking you were going to be a millionaire in 5 years, dude, I guarantee you're going to be disappointed. And if that's the only reason why you got into this, you're not even going to make it 5 years.
Well, those are the ones checking out. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Those are the ones who like, and it sucks because I'm seeing some people that I like too. At first, I was like, look at that idiot. And then I'm starting to see people that I actually like getting out, and I'm like, oh, this is sad. Like, it's kind of a bummer, but it is what it is.
It got to the point where like almost on a weekly basis, I would like almost be like fearful of
who's
opening
next?
up IG and seeing somebody that, that you respect or someone that you've been following and seeing them leaving, like, because it got so bad.
Do you remember?
We had our little group chat. We had like a little running theme that Antoine used to always do. He'd always play Another One Bites the Dust by Queen every time. He'd just post it and post a link to the song. Dude,
Shout out to Antoine.
It was shout out to Antoine. That's right.
I saw a meme. I saw a meme of Goldberg in his prime, and it said who's next, and it was the ball python community like asking who's next. Like, dude, and it was kind of like something where it's like, damn, I'm gonna go on my Instagram today and like, fuck, we're gonna see who's on the chopping block here. And I just feel like some of this stuff's just maybe panic decisions, like,
absolutely,
and which I could understand because they're probably in a predicament, and they're like, dude, the money I need now, and I'm gonna keep needing the next month, and next month, and next month. Like, it's
look at all that. I mean, it correlates directly with the economy.
Yeah.
And it correlates directly with all that money they shelled out over COVID, all the interest rates they dropped to zero. People don't understand the impact that has financially on an economy and how much it domino effects down the line to your groceries and your gas and all that other shit. And so it's like, obviously money's a premium nowadays, more so than it was 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
And, that takes a massive toll on the industry. But like I said, I think I've seen an uptick in not only sales, but enthusiasm about the projects. And I've also seen, well, now with this election, I think people are going to start making moves. I think a lot of people were waiting for this election to see what the fuck they were going to do. And now it's like, let's fucking go Wild West.
Yeah. And also, like, I don't know, man, we got to think about what COVID did was kept people home, kept people scared. They didn't want to travel. So what do? You buy shit that keeps you home even more. Yeah. And that's what was happening. I think, shout out to Mark Bailey, man. As far as ball python breeders go, I don't think I look up anyone up more than Mark Bailey. Like, that guy is, his knowledge as far as what he's done in this game is fucking, they're gems all day. And one of the things he told me was like, man, when the economy is actually good, people are not spending money on stuff that's going to keep them home. You know what I mean? Like, they're traveling, they're spending on, like, if you notice, like, flights, like, the airports are more packed than they ever were right now. You know what I mean?
Packed with sleepers. Especially San Diego. I've been down there quite a bit with my oldest daughter, fly her back and forth, and damn.
What are sleepers?
But they are packed. They are busier. And you're right. That is a point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
What you said, how people spend their money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at home, not spending as much money, so you have more money to waste on my ball pythons.
Yeah. But like, I do think though, like, from what I'm seeing, like, whatever was being discussed with certain projects tanking, it's not the same talk anymore. People are selling shit. People are coming out with some cool stuff. And I will say, man, I think the auctions, getting a lot of animals out of Morph Market has helped a lot. It really has.
100%.
Yeah. So, and I think it's only going to get better with time.
I agree.
Faux show.
All right, wrap up topic for you guys. Overall, like, what's the game plan production moving forward? I mean, are we, like, Jacob, you're talking about less is more, and same with you, Andrew, but like, are we looking to stay this kind of style breeding for a while, you think? Or do you think that there will be a point where you're like, fuck it, we're going to do 40, 50 clutches again? Like, what's the overall production looking like for you guys in the future?
I think a 40-50 clutch season would rely heavily on the movement of the animals in the industry and how much people are actually buying the enthusiasm. Right now, the way I look at it is we're building super foundational animals that we're going to be able to at some point incorporate into obviously more clutches. And I think it's got to grow naturally for me, at least. I don't think I could force I could force a 30 clutch season, but I'm going to have 150 snakes. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do it. So it doesn't make any sense. So I think that by doing the small boutique style that we're doing, focusing very heavily on certain particular projects or combinations, I think that those animals that are now our future foundation are really going to set the tone for what we produce.
Yeah. I mean, same. I mean, if I have, I mean, I like the idea of with what I got going, and I figured like 25 is a good number to sit at. Next year, because of the moves I made last year, I probably have maybe, if everything went next year, I probably have 20 clutches. So it's not so much like a certain number. It's more like I want everything to be something that
Quality.
I want to hold back, dude.
Right.
It's funny because I used to think I was really bad at holdbacks.
Guys, holdbacks is what's selling right now. Like if you want to make a sale,
yeah, of course.
your holdbacks is
you
what
want it. Somebody else wants it for sure too. You know, like that's the whole point. Yeah. But I used to think I was real bad at holdbacks, but I just realized it was because I wasn't making stuff I really wanted to hold back. And like now this year, I've got a lot of stuff that I really, now it's really a struggle. Like, I totally could keep this, but I could also sell it. So it's like, you know, yeah, definitely not going to be making any more clutches that are like, oh, that'd be cool to make. Cause I did do a lot of that early on.
And our main goal is to be in the conversation with these projects, be at the front of the pack, be people that people can trust to buy from, but also that they look to see what we're producing because, you know, hopefully we're producing cool stuff.
Yeah, especially with the stuff we're doing together. Like,
right,
it's going to give us a leg up on a lot of these like triple and quad stuff that a lot of people aren't working. A lot of people aren't even working the double visual versions yet. You know,
yeah, that's wild. People are skipping doubles like it's nothing, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like, so much work to be done. Which also that's a one up for people paying attention to that too, though. You know,
because they're ignoring codoms too.
Yeah, that's a big mistake.
Which is funny because it's just a classification by name, as opposed to like a super and a visual recessive. I mean, it's like KG was the first person that really was vocal about it. I'll give him credit for that, and it makes perfect sense. It's like you say it's recessive, what makes it not a super, or what makes this? And so like that conversation is interesting. But I also think that people get too hung up on the labeling of a recessive, and they completely ignore these high dollar codoms or these codoms that will elevate your project.
Well, you got to think, man, when you finally get to that triple, double recessive goal, what's going to separate you from all the other fuckers who just did the exact same thing that you did?
Yeah, exactly. That's DG Clown in a nutshell. That's exactly what happened there.
And that's why, like, dude, I don't like I said, I finally made DG Clown combos this year, but they were ones I wanted to keep no matter what. Like, I need these, right? And I'm so glad I need those versus like, you know, okay, let me fucking sell this for whatever I could get for it, which is not the move because that's not going to help me 3-4 years down the road. Like,
it's not especially right now with the way the market is. You're way better off holding it back because it's like, you know, what are you going to do? They always say buy when the market's down like this, or you hold it back. It's the same concept because that money doesn't help you. It's, you know,
it's an investment animal, whether you buy it or you produce it.
Right. Exactly.
There's still investment animal.
There's still value there that into your collection, dude. Like just as if you were looking at Morph Market and saw something you could really use and you buy it.
Mm-hmm. That's why people don't realize what they need is it's within their own collection sometimes.
Yeah, you can.
Like don't think about what you just made and holding back versus fucking because how much you could maybe get for it right now, you're selling it. Like, you know, we all know why Will's the way Will is because he went fucking 10 years without selling nothing. Like, and he disappeared for a little bit. You know what I mean?
That's smart.
So that's what you do sometimes. You got to hunker down. And we think about all the shit that Justin doesn't even probably tell people about. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
But all that comes with time, you know. And I just feel like COVID did paint like a fast timeline for a lot of these guys that they thought, okay, you know, 3-4 years, I'm good. No, well, what do you mean good? Like good as in like you're still here, maybe, yeah, but like you ain't gonna be fucking buying the house on the hill. I'll tell you that much, you know, like just or even buying anything. The thing is, like the whole money thing, and that's why it's so hard, guys, to not think of money and ball pythons. They go hand in hand, unfortunately.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But you can't let that overthrow the ball pythons that you're keeping and breeding. Like there is money involved, but you can't let that fucking like cloud the whole project side of things. Like
you better don't be what you're doing. Yeah,
don't be trendy, dude. Like that whole trendy thing, man. And it's and like I said, like not that Justin is doing it, but the shit that he posts makes it trendy, and people just jump on that shit, you know. Like, but listen, there's so many different directions that the beautiful thing about whatever's being produced, you could take whatever that animal is and take it a million different directions. Like that's what makes this world so beautiful. I'll tell you that much. Like you don't have to copy. You don't have to copy people. You don't.
And there's enough to go around to where there's enough projects to work to where you don't have to.
Yep.
You can stand out in a lot of different ways.
All with time. I need you guys back here sooner than later. Listen, I don't want to wait another fucking 2 years to have you guys on the show again.
We'll be back, dude.
Protect
Really
our
happy to hear. Really happy to hear from you guys. And like I said, I'm really genuinely say I love your guys' podcast. I hope you guys fucking figure it out.
Dude, we will one day, dude. That's on my goal, dude. That's going to be my New Year's resolution in 2027.
I told both of you guys, if you need help or whatever, please confine it to me.
Oh, no, I was going to shout you out because when we first started, you were like one of the first guys that was like fired up. And like,
super.
Honestly, like you were hitting me up all the time, like do anything you need, any help. Like,
yeah,
you like that. We totally appreciated that, dude.
Because I really love. I'm not gonna lie. At first, I was like, "What is this gonna be about?" You know. And then when you rolled out the first episode,
dude.
I know, but when you rolled out the first episode, it was everything I thought it would be. Like it's you two. It's so you two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see it. But is there a next? You said you just recorded one tonight, or what?
No, we dropped one today. We also have another one that I just gonna push out. I'm gonna put out probably tomorrow, the next day, and then we got to record again. I want to get away from being behind the 8 ball as far as like the time wise.
Yeah.
You know, I think we really need to focus, or at least I need to really hammer down. And once we record on Thursday, really try hard to get it out Friday, because a lot of it's irrelevant a week later or 2 weeks later.
I'm going to put that link to their YouTube channel, guys, in the description below. Please go subscribe and, give it a go. I'm telling you right now, it's good stuff. And I appreciate you guys so much. Instagram is the most like active place to find you guys, right? You would say?
Absolutely. And one thing that we'll never do, whether it's on our YouTube channel or Instagram or anything, we're never going to report people. We're never going to block people. Say whatever the fuck you want. Free speech. We might clap back, but that's all right.
Dude, if you talk shit on this guy, I'll laugh, dude.
We're open.
We welcome it. Bring it, please.
Makes it interesting.
This guy needs to be chopped down to size, dude. Speaking of size, what are you weighing right now again?
Don't worry about that.
380?
You don't even look that big. 380, chill, bro.
It's the camera, dude. It's the camera. It's his nose. It's blocking the rest of his body, dude.
270.
It's that chin, dude. It's hiding his hair. It's hiding his gut.
The hair gives him an edge, I think. But
he hates his chin, by the way, dude. He's so mad at me right now. I can see it.
No, it's okay.
Dude.
He's definitely gonna leave you to go do the rat chores by yourself now. So good job.
Yeah.
So
that's called Thursday nights. That's how it always is, dude.
Hey, Jacob, Civil Serpents, and Andrew, Redwood Reptiles on Instagram. Check it out. But it's a wrap for them. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen.
Dude, we did good,
Hey, thanks for hanging out, guys. I appreciate you. We will talk, and we will have you guys here again soon. All right, take care.
Sounds good, man.
Sounds good, dude.
All right, peace.
Bye, guys.
Man, what an episode. That was definitely one for the books. Enjoyed it. Great to catch up with my boys. And shout to anyone who tapped in on tonight's episode. Get that likes up, man. If you thought tonight's episode was anything amazing, get the likes up. Hit that subscribe button, notification bell. Select all. You've been running every single podcast 7 days a week. Trap Talk Reptile Network, coolest reptile network in the world. And I'm out.